right, top of the morning to you. My name is Pakwesi Shandov. This is the AM News. Now, we're going to start off with a story where the police has arrested two people in connection with an alleged attempt to demolish a four-bedroom house at Jowulu. The two tried to flee from an angry mob that pelted them and set their car ablaze. Occupants of the house say that the incident has left them traumatized and displaced. My colleague Michael Ashani, Michael Ashale visited the scene of the event and now reports.
A partially demolished home in Jowulu. It houses 8 occupants, including 4 children. According to an occupant of the house, Salifu Abbas, a group of men stormed the house with a bulldozer with the intention to evict them.
Around 7 p.m., I was inside with my family, as you can see them over there. Even the small one, he was asleep. All of a sudden, we hear brum with the payloader, and then military men on it, and some land guards. So, in fact, we were all shocked. We were in the, I don't know. They entered and started breaking the place. So I have to rush and go to the police station to report to them and call the police patrol to come in. So when the police patrol came in, and came and stopped them, and then they left.
Salifu says the latest attempt is the 3rd in 1 month.
Justice is not working. This is the 3rd time coming here. They came here 29th. They went to a property fraud unit to report me that I have trespassed and have threatened them. They invited me. I went. Whilst I was there writing my statement, they passed back that very day, came and broke the wall.
Not far from the house is a bent Toyota Land Cruiser with registration number GW2817. According to eyewitnesses, the occupants led the failed demolition exercise and were trying to flee from an angry mob. According to Salifu, the family passed the night in the open because the house was partially demolished.
We slept outside. We were sleeping outside here. Yes. That's the place that they slept last night. Yeah. We slept outside.
What are you going to do now?
Well, we'll take the matter to court.
Marian is a JHS student living with Salifu. She says she's traumatized by the incident.
It's very hard for me. I'm going through a lot. What I've seen have made me very scared.
Mariam, what?
Because our things are stuck in the room, and they broke the house on it.
Neighbors fear for their lives. They are calling on the police to take steps to protect the peace in the area.
There is at risk because they need to do something. They really have to do something. What happened yesterday night, we don't know. It's only by God, because the way the fire and everything, the fire service even didn't come early. Everybody, the police, we don't know what they were doing. Honestly, even today when he came here, there is no police. There is nothing. So assuming they came here today, this morning, what are we going to do? So please, they really have to do something.
According to the police, 2 persons, Nana Owusu Banahine and James Kwenu, have been arrested for allegedly organizing thugs to demolish the house. Police says investigations have commenced into the disturbance. For JoyNews, Michael Ashale.
Our Minister for Education, Dr. Yao Duchum, has debunked speculations that the newly appointed Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Dr. Eric Nkansa, has no experience in the area of teaching. He says Dr. Eric Nkansa has more than 10 years' experience in teaching at various levels of education. Speaking at the 29th Annual Conference of Directors of Education in Accra, Dr. Duchum assured that the newly appointed DG is competent and a perfect fit for the position.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, says there's no need to doubt the competence and qualification of the newly appointed Ghana Education Service Director General, Dr. Eric Nkansa.
Dr. Eric Nkansa is the young man here. And he has taught in basic school. He has taught in secondary school geography, contrary to what you heard. and like some teachers, he left to go and do some banking. He got bored with banking and went to the university to teach. Has taught for over 10 years at Kumasi Technical University.
Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, has credited YouTube and other social media platforms as being instrumental in his journey of becoming a distinguished educationist.
During the COVID time, one thing that I took advantage of was YouTube. I'll go there and say, how do you create the best education system in the world? I'll look at the Singapore education system. I'll look at the Vietnamese education system. I will study on YouTube in my living room. So I took advantage of the fact that I didn't have to go out that much and learn and educate myself so that I can be a good education minister.
He then advised the youth to take advantage of the various social media platforms to gain knowledge and expertise that can transform their lives.
I think the social media present a great opportunity to us all. But invariably, the negative side of things take a hold of us. And before you know, instead of researching on some critical issues and getting somebody to teach them differently from different perspectives, they are using it for something negative. So my advice to the youth, and this is a very important question that you posed to me, that look at social media as a change maker in your life. You can learn something new from social media. You can create a job just watching social media and getting inspired by others who have done same. So now nothing is hidden from us. If you want to create an opportunity for yourself, you go to YouTube. Somebody have done the same. So use the YouTube well, use social media well for your own advancement.
Dr. Eric Nkansa, in his speech, disclosed that the ministry has come up with a year-long pre-engineering course that will enable non-science senior high school graduates to study engineering in the various tertiary institutions.
It is 1 year detailed course designed to prepare and train secondary school graduates with non-science background for enrollment into a Bachelor of Science in Engineering at the university. As we speak, University of Mines and Technology, UMAT, and Pentecost University are currently piloting this program.
Jesse Sewa Boafo's report read to you.
The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, is asking for effective and pragmatic strategies to address the raging galamsey issues in the country. Professor Paul Pinnock Bosu, Director General of CSIR, who made the call, said illegal mining activities are not only affecting the country's forest and water bodies, but every other sector of the social lives of the people. He was speaking at the opening of the 33rd Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the CSIR Research Staff Association at Kwadaso, near Kumasi.
Stakeholders in the agri value chain, comprising of district directors of agriculture in the 11 Borno East
The four-day conference was under the theme Sustainable Soil and Environmental Resources Management for Food and Nutritional Security. Professor Bosu, however, commended the government for taking various steps to halt illegal mining activities and said it was important for the government to take pragmatic actions to stop the activity once and for all in the country.
So I don't think any single society in this country can be isolated from the effects, negative effects of galamsey, health, economics, environment, name it, agriculture. So it's a major cross-sectoral problem for the country.
Yes.
Well, say for us in research, there's a role we can play. We have, for example, developed very simple ways of reclaiming the lands. And of course, this is both engineering, more of engineering, of forest management, landscape restoration. So we have that. We have institutes that have done that or can do that. And then we have tested management, landscape restoration. So we have that. We have institutes that have done that or can do that. And then we have tested a number of trees that can be grown on these lands if we are to reclaim them, so that they will help in taking up some of these metal, what they call heavy metals from the soil. And so that is that. We can develop other things. If we have to develop other crops that will do well in maybe these depleted soils, so we are there when the challenge is thrown. But the first thing is policy for government to take the bold steps, and I know government is taking some steps already to stop it or to manage it in such a way that it will cease to be the trajectory that we are going. We will cease. And
Professor Bosu again called on researchers to work hard to meet the needs of the rapidly changing society.
The world is changing, and so we have to change with the times. We have done a lot of work, in terms of the research and the scientific outputs and publications and all that. Now, we need to work harder to meet the needs of society.
Dr. Kofi Ampoma Benefo, National President of RSA, expressed the hope that by the end of the meeting, researchers will be motivated to develop scientific, innovative solutions to address emergent problems in Ghana. Clinton Yabwes report read to you.
Now, but the Bono East Director of Agriculture, Cecilia Keja, wants farmers to use organic fertilizers to deal with the high cost of food in the country. She says though there's enough food in the system, the cost of chemical fertilizers coupled with the incessant hikes in food prices largely dictates prices of food in the markets. She was speaking to JoyNews on the sidelines of the 2022 Regional Joint Sector Review meeting held in Techimana. Sabit has the rest of the details.
Stakeholders in the agric value chain comprising of district directors of agriculture in the 11 Bono East districts as part of planned activities to provide dialogue on the performance of the sector to inform planning and effective implementation of interventions met in Techiman for the 2022 Regional Joint Sector Review meeting. Regional Director of Agriculture, Madam Cecilia Keja, disclosed that the meeting is to enable industry players to put together solid suggestions for policy directions and investments.
Today, it is our wish that we would have a quick overview of the agricultural sector in the Bono East region, and thereafter we would we'll move into groups to really look at how we'll be able to sustain the gains of PFJ.
She noted that the planting of food and jobs has contributed immensely to food production in the area, and asked that the hike in food prices is largely as a result of external factors.
It's just logical, or it's just normal to have increases in food items because we don't have control over the production of some of the inputs. Generally, we don't manufacture them in the country. And therefore, if the world prices of fuel, world prices of things go up, naturally these inputs will also have their prices rising. We don't have any control over the production of fertilizers. And if the world prices of fertilizers are going up, we'll really suffer the consequences here. And that is impacting on our food production and on the food prices we face.
Mrs. Cecilia Keja, however, calls for the switch from the use of inorganic fertilizers to organic fertilizers as a way of dealing with the high cost of food in the country.
Farmers needed to shift from the use of inorganic fertilizers to the use of organic fertilizers because we produce a lot of organic fertilizers in the system. So farmers saw the need to shift. And we're also doing a lot of education sensitization to assist our farmers appreciate that they can have still good results from the use of organic fertilizers. And they are shifting, yes. And that certainly will contribute immensely to reducing the prices of food.
Some of the participants, particularly farmers, lament some of the challenges they go through in food production. Key amongst them is the hike in fertilizer prices in the market and the unending increase in the cost of tractors for plowing their lands.
This year, tractor for no plow and so mine. Sika or moji one, we acquire for no Sicano so a conanimo caca. Say previous years, say we do 2 acre, a kind of 10 acre. This year won't mean though 10 acre because of pricing.
But if for no, Tim Piano. Ebia ndese okwa say no ba dia chena wo se omo ato tata for to omo price mti omo so betum and afi we decide and so the same thing bia no ekoso abrede abrenyina ama ye ho chepa.
They therefore appeal to government to institute measures capable of providing tractors at subsidized costs for farmers in the various districts.
Near Messer say aban moa say na be ya ye benya tractors even say district bi ampo na ewo agric for asuye na ye akuafo na ye butaye ne say ye bedo aboa oman no na so yetimi akọ ya agric officers for normal aboa with that tractors.
The 2022 Joint Sector Review meeting was held under the theme Sustaining the Gains of Planting of Food and Jobs for a Resilient National Food System. Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Techiman.
Let's now turn our attention to the Upper East region, where pregnant women at Denugu in the Garu district are required to get their relatives to accompany them with jerrycans of water when they are to deliver their babies at the community's healthcare facility. The health center also does not have frequent access to running water, and washroom facilities are also inconvenient for women. WaterAid Ghana has, however, stepped in and provided a new wash facility for the Denugu Health Center. Here is a report by correspondent Albert Sori.
Denugu is a farming community in the Garu district of the Upper East region. The people of the community seek their healthcare services at this small health center, which is often crowded with many patients, mostly women and children. Despite the several dozens of patients who come here on a daily basis, this facility was without a proper water, sanitation and hygiene or wash facility. The women here, especially those who were pregnant and ready for delivery, had to struggle with the difficulties that came with the lack of running water and proper washrooms at this health center.
We don't know where we're going to make toilet. Somewhere else we can go to far away and make toilet. We can go to those houses nearer to the hospital. We can go there.
It was very difficult for us. We used to go to far away and then pump water, and we use our energy to pump. And the facility here too, when people were on labor, they have to go far away, and it was very difficult for us. You have to go to the house and boil water and come and bath those who deliver.
This problem also presented a precarious situation for the healthcare staff who manage the facility. Wilfred Atule is in charge of the Denugu Health Center.
We used to carry water from the borehole with a bucket, drop it inside our hand washing container, and that's what we're managing with. It was very uncomfortable. The staff that will go and fetch the water and come and put it in, and the little you bring is what you are going to share with the many staff, many clients that are coming. Pregnant women who deliver, in fact, could not manage themselves very well in terms of bathing and washing their things.
WaterAid Ghana has, however, stepped in with some help for the people of Denugu. With funding support from Australian aid, WaterAid Ghana has built and commissioned a new water, sanitation and hygiene facility for the Denugu Health Centre. The facility, which cost 60,000 Australian dollars, includes washrooms with water closets for males and females, disability-friendly washrooms and hand-washing facilities. A solar-powered mechanized borehole has also been constructed to provide running water for the wash facility and the health center. Ewurabena Nyanyi Akofu is country director of Water Aid Ghana.
Through our partnership with Australian Aid, Guinness Ghana, and also Zokonis Foundation, we work together to do this integrated wash facility. We would want government to see this model. We want government to be able to integrate this into the design of healthcare facilities. We don't want to see healthcare facilities without wash.
Now, country representative of the Catholic Relief Services, Daniel Mumuni, says that there is an imminent water shortage in the northern region if efforts are not put in place to stop human activities around the Nawoni Dam. According to him, if the Nawoni Dam is lost, about 60% of the populace in the region will suffer a water distress. Correspondent Martina Bugri now reports.
Ongoing illegal sand weighing and other human activities along the White Volta is beginning to have a toll on the dam, which serves as water source for treatment by the Ghana Water Company. About 5 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies depend on the dam for their source of water. It's against this backdrop that the Tamale Water Fund was established to work hard to protect the dam. Speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the local water committees for the Saviligu, Tolong and Kumbongu districts in Tamale, Mr. Mumuni warned that water scarcity in the area has the potential of beginning a conflict.
If we lost this water source, over 60% of the greater Tamale populace will be water stressed. The world over, we have about 785 million people that are finding it very difficult to get access to potable water. And we are part of this 785 million. But the worst of it is that we are the major contributors to the depletion of this water body. As you are aware, water is life, and where there is no water, we have minor conflicts that will rise to become wars themselves.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Al-Hassan Shaibu, said the Northern Regional Coordinating Council was worried about the high siltation of the dam.
The White Volta River, the main source of water supply to Tamale City, is experiencing high levels of siltation, and this is a worry to the Northern Regional Coordinating Council. These are threatening the river's future capacity for supplying the required volume of water to the metropolis and its environs. The river has been rendered shallow and is unable to contain the volume of water that flows into it during the rainy season, resulting into floods.
The Executive Secretary of the Water Resource Commission, Adjoa Pentil, on her part said a visit to the Nawoni Dam shows total abuse and neglect of the river.
A visit to most of the White Volta River area, especially within the Nawoni subcatchment, generally reveals instances of neglect and abuse of the river. One may say our actions and inactions have contributed largely to the degradation of the river and the supporting ecosystems.
The mayor of Tamale, Sule Salfu, called for a collaboration to help deal with the canker.
Most people in Tamale only see water coming out of their taps when they open them, but have little idea about the source of the drinking water. For me, I believe to be able to address these challenges we face in the watershed need 5 key ingredients. 1, extended stakeholder, community, traditional leaders, politicians, general water users, etc. participation. Commitment to attitudinal change, leadership and community participation, healthy partnership, and adherence to policies and laws.
That'll be all. My name is Pakwesi Shandov. For more, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. The show continues.
All right, so welcome back to the AM show. Time for us to go into the papers to just understand what the papers are reporting this morning. Now, I have with me the Daily Graphic. I have the Daily Guide newspaper. We have the Ghanaian Times, the Custodian, the Chronicle newspaper, the Finder. We have the Republic Press. And we'll go into them to understand what's happening. Our guest today is Professor Dr. Asas Sante, who has joined us to help us go through the issues and really appreciate what has been happening. Doc, good morning to you. I hope you're well.
Good morning. I am fine.
Great.
And yourself?
Well, once we are here, we can only thank God for bringing us here. So, yeah, we are good. Well, let's start off with the Daily Graphic. Now, it says some majority MPs want finance minister out and minority triggers vote of censure. So all of that on the finance minister. Relatedly, banks, forex bureaus to check cedi depreciation and support government build resilient economy. Kwame Pienim urges citizenry. But I would want her to start from the majority MPs who are calling for the finance minister to be fired. Now, the story says some members of the majority caucus in Parliament have asked President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to remove the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, and the Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, Charles Edubuahin, from office to restore confidence in the economy. Numbering about 80, the group warned that it would not do business with the government if the president failed to act on their call. At a news conference in Parliament House yesterday, where 20 of the members were present, the Member of Parliament MP for Asante Akim North, Andy Apia Kubi, who spoke on behalf of the group, further stated that the majority would not participate in any government business, including the budget hearing, until their demand was met. Doc, what happened was quite something that we've never seen. What does this do for the citizenry who being, or the confidence of the citizens who have been calling for the finance minister to be removed for some time now?
Yeah, if you look at what happened yesterday, it's very new as far as Ghanaian politics is concerned, but it gives us a lot of perspectives that we can reflect on. One, it sheds light on the fact that the economy is everything. So they expect that at all points in time, you need to build a solid economy so that people will have means of livelihood, and then everybody will be fine. And that is what they demonstrated. Not only that, they also know that one of the factors that influence voter choices in this country is the economy. So once you build a solid economy, you are likely to have, people making sure that when the times come for your mandate to be renewed, they can consider you and all that. Not only that, but it's also about the legacy of the party, the legacy of the party, that the party want to be seen as being an entity that has brought development, that has done ABC, their records must be there, because without it, it's going to be difficult for them to campaign during the 2024 election. We can also look at it from this perspective that the MPs were also did that for their own survival, If you realize in recent times, people have said a lot from their constituencies that the president must kick the finance minister and all that. So as part of the functions of parliament, let us remember that the MPs they play a representation role. They represent the interests of their constituents and all that. So in line with that, they want to articulate the views of their constituents to the executive. We have also seen from their action that they are calling for the president to remove the Minister of Finance, failure to which they will engage in censorship and all that. The censure, the vote of censure actually brings to the fore the issue of the fact that all is not well. And it throws light on whether this country needs a parliamentary system of government, so that in matters of this nature, once you see that the government is not performing, then you are likely to trigger that process, which will lead to a vote of no confidence and eventual removal of the government from office, and then you call forward a fresh election. These things are things that the country will want to ponder about, and then decide that if the constitution needs to be amended to reflect that position, well, one day, who knows? So it is one of the things that has been brought to the fore through this action. It's also, the action also shed light on the fact that Parliament want to assert its authority more stronger than before. That, look here, we are the engine of democracy, and for which reason we want to make sure that whoever is running the executive office will listen to us, failure to which we are going to boycott activities of Parliament. You know that at this point in time, the government will not want to lose even one person, let alone 80 people who abstain from parliamentary business and all that. Once you do that, you are played into the hands of what the opposition, and then they build blocks on that, and then decide to launch attack on the government. So all in all, when you look at this, it has implication for the way government businesses run. It also has implication for sound, consensus building in Parliament. It also has implication for election 2024, and another implication is that it also tells you that all is not well, and that if the government doesn't put its foot down, it's going to hurt the party's chances of winning 2024 election and breaking the 8. So there are a whole lot of perspective that we can glean with regard to what the action of the 80 MPs in Parliament.
How does this also influence the perception by many that this sort of proves that the president is not able to take the right decisions at the right time, because calls for the finance minister to be removed has been on the table for quite some time now, and people feel that it shows that the president is not in charge. Does it fool that?
People may think that, but if you look at it, I would say he's in charge, except that there are problems within the party. There are problems. And that because if you listen to the MP for Subing and all that, they said they have discussed this. They have made sure they will use the internal structures and all that. And it didn't work. The last minute, they even brought the majority leader to convey their message to the president, and it never worked. It tells you that there is a basic problem of what institutional breakdown. Within political parties, institutions must work. What are the institutions? They are the norms, the rules, the regulations that regulate the conduct of people and make people able to function effectively in a democracy. This is actually breaking down within the MPP. And it is about time they lifted their game and righted the wrongs if they want to really build a solid political party that will have the courage to prosecute the 2024 agenda.
Well, people say this probably has destroyed their chances of indeed breaking the 8, and that they've lost the election from this one.
Well, the game is not over until the final whistle. All right, who knows that there will be a political John the Baptist who will come around and turn things around. They are looking for the one with a magic one to turn things around. And for me, as a student of politics, I will not, rush into making such conclusive statements. But let's wait and see. But as of now, the problem is that a lot of fundamentals are weak, and it has exposed the weaknesses of the party big time to the public.
Well, the party says that there should be calm. The national chairman of the party, Stephen and team, has urged all stakeholders to remain calm as party leadership engages government on the call for the removal of the finance minister. In a statement issued in Accra yesterday, Mr. and team stated that the party leadership had taken notice of the press conference held by some members of the majority caucus in Parliament seeking the removal of the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, Charles Edubuahin, from office. It stated that the leadership of the party was seeking an amicable resolution of the impasse. And, quote, the leadership of the party hearing reiterate its commitment to all times engage government on issues of utmost interest and concern to the party, government, and the citizenry. Is that what you envisaged from the party?
The party and the government has wasted a long time, especially the party. You are the backbone of the government, for which reason, if there is anything, any signal that you pick, you need to act and act very fast. Why have they wasted a long time? This speaks volume of the weaknesses of political communication within the party, all right? You need to be able to have intelligence. You need to be able to pick signals about the goings on within the party. And then you want to address them in no time. Once you leave them to fester, then you are likely to be confronted by such a situation. For me, they are coming very late, but well, better late than never. They should be able to they should be able to assuage the pain of the people within the party, for them to lessen for the problem to be lessened. Otherwise, they are likely to have the second phase of it, where they want to move and then tie their apron string with the minority party to fire a vote of censure, and that will not bode well for the ruling government. I think also that the Mr. President need to be sober and then reflect on all these issues and listen, because yes, people have voted for you, but let us remember that power springs from the sovereign will of the people, and that if people advise you, people share ideas with you, people give you their mandate, you need to govern on their behalf, and that if you fail to do that, you are likely to have such a situation. I think the issue of tolerance is brought to the fore in this matter, that the president must be able to tolerate dissenting views, however painful they may be, and that in his bid to maintain this democracy, he need to be able to tolerate various shades of opinion. It doesn't matter how painful they may be, so that you guide your utterances, so that you do the needful, so that you consult with every stakeholder. Now look at it. I have said on your network time and again that the president and the government need to extend their hands to people who can really assist, get the stakeholders of this economy, this political system together and discuss the way forward. Now we want to do that at this very late time. But I think that, yes, Rome was never built in a day, and that once they have taken this lesson, it's going to help them to be able to address this problem head on.
I mean, you have a lot of understanding when it comes to politics. So looking at the time this call was made, and as of now that the president has not acted, the finance minister has also not acted in the way. What does it show? I mean, people were expecting that they would have had feedbacks now, but that hasn't happened.
Well, the earlier Mr. President does the needful, the better. Otherwise, you know what? The people are going to move to the second gear. The minority has threatened to pass a vote of censure, and that is what? A vote of no confidence. We are short of saying that MPs in Parliament now are not confident of their government, all right? It's simply because of the system of government that we are operating. If it had been a parliamentary system of government, a vote of no confidence, if it's triggered, you get people from majority supporting and kicking their own government out. It is very obvious from the utterances, from the position of the people who are leading this charge. So I think that Mr. President must act and act very fast if you want to save his legacy, if you want to save his party. The more he delays in this matter, the more worse it becomes. And then all manner of things can be thrown into the political space, and it can create problems. Issue of what? Demonstration, issue of what? You will not even have the mind to reflect on issue in Parliament. And then anything you send to Parliament, you will not have the necessary numbers to handle them. And that cripples or undermines governance in the state.
All right. Now, let's move on to the Daily Guide and look at a story that is related to why this is happening, the economy. One of it is the free fall of the city. Now, the Daily Guide says banks, forest operators pledge to stem city fall. The leadership of universal banks in the country and the Association of Forest Bureau Operators have agreed to work in close collaboration to stem the rapid depreciation of the Ghana city. This comes on the heels of a high-profile meeting between the Bank of Ghana, leadership of Universal Banks and Association of Forest Bureau Operators in Accra yesterday. Now, they have given some reasons for what's happening. The governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. NSMQ Yedu Addison, acknowledged there that though the global economic meltdown occasioned by the geopolitical tension between Russia and Ukraine has caused supply-demand imbalances in several commodity markets, high inflation, high cost of living, and high uncertainties in financial markets, the Bank of Ghana is poised to work with relevant stakeholders to stabilize the foreign exchange market and help contain the free fall. Now, he says, available data indicates that we started the year 6 cedis to the dollar. It got to 7 and we stayed at 7 in June, 7.6 in July, 8 in August, 9.6 in September, and now it is 12.5. But we are here again with people sending messages that the dollar CD rate is 15 cedis to a dollar. Clearly, this type of movement does not reflect changes in the fundamentals. It is clear that the market is not functioning properly. We are seeing speculations taking over under very disorderly market conditions, and it appears now that the black market is rather driving exchange rate. This we cannot allow to continue, he said. But how long has he come to the realization that this is the real issue and that needs to be tackled? Why this long delay?
I don't get it because even if all the factors he's talking about are true, what is the governor and what is the government doing about this? You've seen this. How can't you arrest this? That's your duty, for Christ's sake. They need to what? Up their game, all right? The issue of blame game must end if the government want to be serious. Why am I saying that? They have attributed all these problems to external shocks, i.e. Russian-Ukraine crisis. They've talked about COVID and all that. But recently, the World Bank has come out to say that no, that's not the case. It is more of what? The problems that confront this country are things that, or what has brought us this far are things from what? Within, not outside. So what are they talking about? All right. The blame game must end. In governance, once you are given power, you have no excuse. You need to use all resources to make sure that you govern and govern extremely well. That is all. If you are not interested in listening to this, you will always come with one excuse or another, and that doesn't help anybody. I think that they must get their acts together and work very well. We have seen inflation figures even within the sub-region. Can you imagine Togo hovering around 9%? Can you imagine this in Nigeria around 20% and so forth and so on? What is it that our country is not doing right? That is the million-dollar question that they need to address, and address it now and stop, the blame game. The blame game will not do them anything. If you want to extend blame to other things, you must as well go to colonial route that has brought us this far. But people have gone through all these things, and then they have shaped their destinies. All right, we all went through the problems of COVID. We are still grappling with that, and that it is not excuse for any government to want to explain or blame its inability to perform on these things. All countries experience this, and that they are also building around West Africa. Here we are seeing Togo having single digit. We have seen Nigeria working very hard at their inflation figures and all that. Ghana must look sharp, and then we must confront this situation head on.
Now, why do you think it takes that much time for leadership in this country to act when it matters most? Has there been any research into that for us to understand why leadership really delays in acting?
Sometimes it's the style of the person who is leading, Mr. President. People started complaining. Economic experts were pointing to the effect that we are likely to be confronted with. And then they began to proffer solution to the president. But Mr. President did not take these pieces of advice. No. And then now we are where we are. Instead of the president acting very fast, the president was praising his ministers, that they have worked extremely well, that their performance is excellent. Is that the excellent performance that we are seeing in governance? All that we are saying that the least you can do for us that you govern, and then you let us know the reality on the ground. All right, then people will appreciate, people will understand, and then people will help you with solution. But once you want to paint a certain picture, which is not the situation on the ground, you create a problem for everybody to understand you, and then appreciate you, and then want to come along with you. That is the quagmire that the government finds itself. That if they want to surmount this challenge, they need to govern with a clear sense of honest leadership, that you are able to tell us the situation on the ground. It can be painful, it can be uncomfortable, but hey, that is your duty. Remember that the people have the right to know. We need to know the goings on in our government, because mandate was given to you by the people. Power springs from the sovereign will of the people. If you are not able to do that, when it comes for renewal of political contract, I'm afraid, whether you are in office or not, your party will be thrown out.
All right, now in the daily guide, there's this story, NIALP horns miners skills for global market, and it says coordinator for the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, NIALP, for illegal miners, Dr. Louise Carol Sewa Donko, says the outfit is committed to providing mining-related skills to persons involved in illegal mining and preparing them for better jobs both home and abroad. According to her, this forms part of NIALP's effort at tackling the menace of illegal mining, which has had severe impact on the country's natural environment. Now, she reiterated that her outfit's main focus in providing the training was to enable the persons involved in illegal mining find sustainable jobs in large-scale mining companies. And I quote, when it comes to mining-related skills, for instance, there are those that we would want to teach how they can fabricate small tools to support agriculture as well as small tools to support mining. We also want to train people in skills where they can be integrated into large-scale mining companies, she stated. Look, we've all been talking about how to end small-scale mining. We are saying that we need to look at how we can help those who are engaged in it to move away from that so that it can help us sanitize the industry. How does this really motivate you or convince you that we are on the right path, that we are trying to train them how they can even use their skills in large-scale mining companies?
We have a lot of examples around to borrow from or to learn from. There are well-organized mining organizations around the globe and even in Ghana. Why can't you engage stakeholders? people who have knowledge in this and share their perspective on it. We have a whole school dedicated to mining and its activities in Ghana. And this school survives on what? The taxpayers' what? Money. Why are we not making the best use of that school? All right? We can do that. And once we put stakeholders together, I can assure you that they will come up with all manner of ideas that will help us to stem the tide. Today, we seem to be what? Paying lip service to the problem. We have forgotten about its dire consequences. Consequences on agriculture in general, on food production, on our cash crops such as cocoa that European countries and other groups are threatened now, that they are likely to find cyanide in them and all that. They are going to, once they decide not to buy them, what are we going to use them for? Look at water bodies that we are polluting, all right, without any reference or recourse to law, all right? What is the government doing? In political science, we have what we call state capacity. And one of it is what? The regulatory capacity. The state must have the power to make laws and enforce them. We have all manner of good laws that are in the statute books. And what are we doing about them? Let us enforce them. Fear not, step on toes, and then attain what you want to attain. And that if it will serve the public interest, that is all that you need. You don't need to what? Pander to the whims and caprices of party apparatchiks and people who want to really serve their selfish interests. You don't need that. All that you need is what? To serve the public good. And that is exactly what we expect the government to do. The government must put its foot down and enforce the law rigidly without fear or favor. The government must also make sure that you involve stakeholders to give you the focus and direction that will help us to stem this tide. And then we as citizens of this country, we must know that we have no other land except this country. And that the earlier we save this country, the better for all of us, because the consequences are dire. And we will not be able to handle them when the time comes.
But this means that what NIOP is doing will require some funds. Would you still recommend that government probably channel more funds there? Because I'm told that they have been able to create more than 80,000 employment, including illegal miners, gained direct and indirect jobs under the NIOP initiative by government since its rollout a year ago. They've given a breakdown of the sort of people they've employed. So does it mean that government should probably pump more money in there to ensure how this can be effective in helping curtail or reduce illegal mining?
At this time and point, every support that we need to marshal and give to people, why not? We need to do that because it has all manner of implications. If you look at even in that international relations, all right, we are polluting water in Ghana and they have effect in neighboring such as Cote d'Ivoire and the rest. Are we prepared to destroy the relationship that exists between Ghana and Togo with regard to these things? All right, we are not ready for that. And the cost of handling that situation is more expensive than supporting small groups who want to do the needful and support the agenda of government in the fight against galamsey. Government must be very much active in this regard. And then we want to see government working very fast at addressing this problem. Otherwise, we the citizens must advise ourselves that come election, if you don't have a party that has a full-blown program in its manifesto, telling us how they're going to deal with galamsey, that party will not be given any political authority in this country. We need to work on that, and so that will drum into the ears of politicians that they cannot take this country for a ride. They owe the public a duty of support, a duty of care.
Relatedly from the Ghanaian Times, on the back page, it says 87 guards pass out to protect country's river bodies. Now, 87 river guards trained to protect river bodies from illegal mining and other forms of pollution have passed out at a ceremony in Tema. The guards, including 3 females, underwent 1 month training at the Eastern Naval Command of the Ghana Navy. They were trained in swimming, water survival techniques, boat handling, incidents reporting, and intelligence gathering, among others, to equip them for the impending assignment. 5 of the guards were presented with various performance awards, including Samuel Kojo, who was named overall best trainee and best in boat handling. Best in swimming went to Bronya Kweku Jr. Gideon Christian Kwame was named best in drill. Best in leadership was Benjamin Nana Agri, while John Kobna was adjudged best in physical training. So this is good. We've trained 87 people to man our river bodies. The question then will become effective implementation of what they have to do and effective monitoring. How do we ensure that they will be doing exactly what they've been asked to do and not becoming agent to really even foster the mining on our river bodies?
We need to ensure that the rules of the game apply, all right? You are tasked to do a duty or two. If you fail, there are sanctions for you. So it tells you that we need people who monitor them. You need a system, a mechanism that monitors the whole process and then reward and punish accordingly. That's all. And that we also as a people want to be vigilant. After all, vigilance is the price of liberty, and see that they also within they work within the framework of the law. That is all. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, we may have good intentions in getting them out there, but sometimes they go out there and the thinking is, well, we also have to make money. I don't know how we can effectively monitor them to ensure that they will not, go against the reason why they've been put there. What do we need to do? Do we have to employ technology?
We cannot. Are we saying that we cannot put systems in place that will check the activities of those who have been taxed to monitor the system? We can. Otherwise, we must stop governing. All right. There is always a way out if we want to find that way out. All right. There are monitoring mechanisms. There are systems we can build to check these things so that everybody will fall in line. Why do you have supervisors? Why do you have monitoring teams? Why do you have systems and structures and all that? We need to think outside the box, create these things, and then begin to activate them, begin to trigger them so that they support us in this fight.
All right. Let's look at the Daily Dispatch. It says 200 mental health patients abandoned at Psychiatric Hospital. And it says that the Accra Psychiatric Hospital has 200 patients at the facility who have been abandoned by their relatives. A psychiatrist at the facility, Dr. Nana Adobia Brown, who made this known, said although some of them had recovered, they were still at the facility. And this is something that we do here all the time. How do we tackle this? That people are brought to the psychiatric facility and they are abandoned there by the family. No one seems to care for them. How do we deal with this?
One is that we need constant education on this matter. The fact that somebody is disturbed mentally or has a challenge doesn't mean he's out of society. No. We can help that person to gain his or her health and be reintegrated into the society. That orientation, we are far from that. We need to walk the talk by educating, by informing, and then making sure that people internalize these things, and then that will save people in such a difficult situation. Two, we also need to make sure that the social welfare system works, and it works very well. And that is able to address some of these lingering challenges. We need the social welfare to work and work effectively. That means that they need resources, they need support, logistics, in order to discharge their duties, not only effectively, but most efficiently. And above all, we also need to make sure that the family system works so that the little things that trigger this thing, that cause these problems, we are able to nip them in the bud at the level of families, all right? As agencies of socialization, where people grow, develop, become the best of themselves and all that. We need to be able to ensure that there is a firm structure within the family level, and that we are each, we are our neighbors or our family members, we are their support system. We provide support for them. We get closer to them. We want to learn their problems from first hand. And then we want to be part and parcel of the problem in order to help them deal with the problem. Once we go on that route, I'm sure that at the end of the day, we should be able to surmount these challenges. It is not beyond us. We are capable of handling it and handling it well.
All right. Now, let's do the Republic Press as our final paper for this morning. Now, pressure group Occupy Ghana has called on President Akufo-Addo to cut down the number of ministers and run what they call a lean and mean government in order to fix the current economic hardship in the country. In a press statement released on Tuesday, October 24, the group said the hard times Ghanaians are going through was enough evidence that, and I quote, there is no better time than now to reduce the size of government. Doc, this has been caused for a very long time.
Oh, this is something that people have said time and again, and the government will not listen to this, because you don't need extremely bigger government to deliver. No. All that you need are people who have the track record, who are competent, and who can deliver on the president's mission. That's all. You don't need the size of what? A very big government in order to deliver. No. Otherwise, can you imagine what the situation would be in China? A population of about 1 billion. How many ministers would they need? All right, no, a few. Look at the rich country like what? Britain. It has less than 130 ministers. Look at Nigeria, around 40, 44, 45 thereabout. Look at US, very small. You need the right people for the right jobs. That's all. Because what is governance? It's nothing but what? The effective use of what? Resources. That's all. But on a part of the world, you can understand why it is so. It's a job for the boys. And you create such joys at the expense of what? The society. That is not fair. That is not governance. That is abuse of what? Public power. And that has its implications on elections. People are worried now, especially if you listen to the 80 people who have come out in their numbers against some of the actions of government. One of their concerns, if you listen to them carefully, is the issue of what? That there are some people within the party who have what it takes to help to address this problem head on. But they've been silent. And that they say they have the men, and that they want the president to kick his family member from the government so that they can really bring in those who have what it takes to support the government. It brings to the fore the issue of what Aristotle said, that if you are looking at a government which is effective, you must answer two questions: who rules and in whose interest? The government must understand that they are ruling in the interest of what? The people, for which reason they should have what? A government that is open, that is large, that brings everybody on board. They have been saying that they need all their men on board and that they can surmount this problem. And I think I share that view. Why am I saying that? We saw in this country when President Kufuor was in office, difficult time, but he mounted the challenges and then they put CD to dollar. I have said, and I'll repeat here one more time, that where are the Kufuor boys who put CD to dollar? Where are they? If we are serious and we want to fix this problem, we will look for them. There are other scholars who have studied finance, economics, and all that. They are here. Are we ready to go for them and make the best use of them? What is so painful is that some of them draw their salary on government payroll. They work at the universities and all that, and we have abandoned them. Why can't we use them? Let us use the resources God has given us and then make this country a great country once and for all.
Dr. Kwame Asante, I'm grateful to you that you could find time to join us this morning. So grateful.
I am also grateful.
All right, then. So that's it for the news review. Grateful that you could join us on this segment. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we have sports for you here on the AM show. Stay with us.
Football is back. Those were the words of the GFA president, Kurt Okreku, after the Accra High Court dismissed ASGO's application for an injunction on the Ghana Premier League. Also, former President John Dramani Mahama has advised the Ghana Football Association to depoliticize the senior national team, the Black Stars, and the Speaker of Parliament. He's always been speaking about the senior national team as they get ready to participate in the FIFA World Cup. His message is that
you need to redeem yourselves following what transpired 8 years ago in Brazil during this Mundial. Good morning, everyone. Muftau Blabla here with the AM Sports. Let's start with Ghana Premier League stories, where President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreku, has thanked the football community for throwing their weight behind the football governing body in the court issue involving them and Ashanti Gold, a club the GFA demoted to Division 2 for alleged involvement in match fixing. According to the president, the Ghana Football Association would ensure that the return of the league is very competitive.
And the Football Association will respect the wise ruling from the court. Football is back, and I want to thank everybody who has believed that Ghana football can be resurrected. I want to thank everybody that has believed that Ghana football is in the right way, and I want to thank generally everybody in the football ecosystem, everybody, all members of the Football Association who gave us the responsibility to contribute our quota towards the development of Ghana football. Indeed,
Ashanti Gold were asked to pay a penalty of 20,000 Ghana cedis by the Accra High Court, and their lawyer, Edward Krapp, he says that the club would be advised on the next line of action to take following the punishment or the penalty that was awarded against them.
It's based on the rules of procedure and then the law. We are not the bosses of the case, or we are not the owners of the case. So we will have to take our instructions from the owners of the case as to what next to do upon the legal advice that the team will give to them. So it will be premature for me to tell you what next at this moment, because the power to do so does not lie in my mouth. Neither does it lie in the mouth of my colleague lawyers. It lies in the mouth of the owner of the case. I mean, in this moment, or at this moment, Ash Gold, they would have to, take a decision as to what to do. So once they take a decision, we believe strongly that eventually the public will get to know whether they have, or whatever they have decided to do. We would only legally advise, in terms of the law and procedure. And then what we are instructed to do in terms of law and procedure will be done or will not be done as the circumstances of the case.
To the FIFA World Cup now, former President John Dramani Mahama has advised the Ghana Football Association to depoliticize the senior national team as they prepare to participate in the FIFA World Cup. According to him, the national team has been engulfed with allegations of politics, and he feels that with politics, the national team cannot perform at their optimum best.
Depoliticize, the Stars. If the Stars win, it's not credit to one political party or the other. It's credit to all of Ghana, and it doesn't matter under which administration it wins the cup or not. We might know that those boys are from all over our country. They are not political. Most of them don't even, you don't know what political party they belong to, So let's all support them. Anytime they're going to play, I play my part. I tweet about them or put out a message, encouraging them and encouraging Ghanaians to support them. I'll continue doing that. I'm their #1 fan. So I'll be sitting behind my TV. Normally, sometimes I get heartache, but now that I'm a senior citizen, I have to, I've seen a few pictures where people hide and watch. It's a very unnerving experience, The last time we were playing with Brazil, after the netted 3 in the first half, I had to give up. And then I come back and ask, have we scored? Have we scored? But they had a good second half, And normally with our team, it's settling down. When we go to a tournament, the first few matches, it takes time for us to settle and play our real soccer. Unfortunately, we're in the group of death. mean, the teams in our group are strongest. And look at what fate has made. Brought Uruguay into our group again, you know. It would be sweet revenge if we score them. And so please, even if you don't beat anybody, Uruguay, just beat them for me, you know. And let's pay Suarez back, you know, for what he did for us. But we wish you well. We know that under your administration, the GFA has brought some more vitality into our football. And we're all supporting your administration to make sure that we move football to the next level. I know there are challenges, especially in the domestic league. Now, because of English Premier League and all that, I mean, our people are more tuned to watching La Liga and things, and so people are not coming to the stadium as much as they should. But it's normally a good family entertainment to go with the family and watch a local match. But we need to raise the standard so that people will love to come and watch. And they've been concerned about refereeing and all that. So when that happens, it, you know, depresses the quality of the league. But we have faith that you have all that in hand, and we'll continue to support you. Our doors are open. If there's anything you think as a former president I can do to bring any moral encouragement or anything, don't hesitate to let us know.
Let's go to Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babian, he says the 2022 FIFA World Cup serves as an opportunity for the Black Stars to redeem themselves following what transpired in the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. The senior national team revolted and boycotted a training session and demanded that the appearance fees be paid. It was under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, and the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babian, he says that the Black Stars must go all out and redeem themselves in this year's tournament.
Ghana will again be represented at this year's FIFA World Cup, this time around in Qatar. This August House is expected to play a pivotal role in making sure that the players and technical team deliver to the expectations of Ghanaians. This is the time to right the wrongs that characterized the 2014 edition in Brazil, one which led to our early exit and brought so much shame and dishonor to Ghana football. We have an opportunity to reposition our country in the world of football, I mean. Preparations for this, I am persuaded, started long ago, but we need to sharpen our focus and ensure that the national football team gives a good account of itself in Qatar. As leaders, it is our duty to inspire and motivate the players, technical team, and the supporters. The country should leave no stone in resourcing and financing the event, despite the current state of the economy. The benefits of this venture to the country and people are immeasurable, and we I want to assure the Black Stars that this Parliament is solidly behind them, and they should confidently go for the gold, go for the cup, and come home with glory.
The NDC MPs came in wearing black and red, as if in anticipation of what will be a historic day in the House. NPP MPs on the first day of the meeting drummed a bombshell. They wanted Ken Ofori-Atta out.
We have had occasions to defend allegations of conflicts of interest, lack of confidence, trust against the leadership of our finance ministry. The recent developments within our economy are of great concern to the greater majority of members of our caucus and our constituents. We have made our grave concern to the President through the parliamentary leadership and the leadership of the party without any positive response. We are by this medium communicating our strong desire that the President change the Minister of Finance and the Minister of State in the Finance Ministry without further delay in order to restore hope into the financial sector and reverse the downward trend in the growth of the economy.
The NPP MPs, numbering more than 80, say if the president refuses to act, none of his business will go through Parliament.
Meanwhile, we want to serve notice, and notice is hereby served, that until such persons as aforementioned are made to resign or removed from office, we, members of the majority caucus here in Parliament, will not participate in any business of government by or for the president, by any other minister. We hope that those of us of the backbench and members of the majority caucus will abide by this prayer. We are saying that if our request is not responded to positively, we will not be present for the budget hearing, neither we will participate in the debate.
The move was unprecedented. No one would have seen it coming. The NPP majority MPs are now forcing the hands of President Akufo-Addo, a member of their own party, to sack Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Indeed, over the past few months, they have been the most resolute in defending Ken Ofori-Atta and asking that the minority stay aside with their calls for a vote of censure. It appears now that the minority may just have the numbers if they decide to go ahead and press for the vote of censure that they've already filed to be debated and voted upon in the House. It will also be interesting to know what Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will do himself, whether he will resign or he will wait for the president to sack him. But all this is coming on the back of very interesting economic times. The cedi has been tumbling, currently selling beyond 15 cedis. Ghana is currently seeking an IMF bailout. It is not clear whether government will get that before the November budget is read. The NDC MPs have already filed a motion of censure and have been outlining the reasons for this move.
The first one is the fact that we are seeing a despicable conflict of interest, ensuring that he directly benefits from Ghana's economic woes as his companies receive commissions and other unethical contractual advantage, particularly from the Ghana's debt overhang. The second ground has to do with an unconstitutional withdrawals from the consolidated fund in blatant contravention with Article 178 of the 1992 Constitution and the Petroleum Management Act, supposedly for the construction of the President Cathedral. The third point has to do with the illegal payment of oil revenues into offshore accounts in flagrant violation of Article 176 of the 19th Constitution. Number 6 has to do with the alarming incompetence and frightening ineptitude. In fact, if he had acted fast, we could have salvaged this economy. So frightening ineptitude resulting in the collapse of the Ghanaian economy and an excruciating cost of living crisis that we are seeing.
Meanwhile, Majority Leader Osei Kyei-Mensah Bonsu warns the House to tread cautiously.
The Minority Leader is giving an indication that they want to file a motion of censure on the Finance Minister. Colleagues of mine have also about done the same thing as has been communicated to me at the instance of their constituents. Speaker, my own personal thinking is whether or not this thing could be done midstream into the negotiations with the IMF, and again midstream in the crafting of a budget. What would be the effect, the contagion effect of this in the negotiations, and also even its impact on the performance of the currency as we see now.
The next few days will certainly be interesting in Parliament. For JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
we need the majority to support us to do this. We need to assist the president to make sure this happens. But I believe that he did not do this alone. The vice president must be made to step aside as the chairman of the economic management team because he has failed woefully. Woefully. He does not qualify to call himself chairman of economic management team. Unfortunately, Parliament do not have the right to censure him on that grounds. If not, we would have gone after him first. I think the governor has a role to play in this matter, and he should also pack his bag tomorrow morning. I'm saying that the finance minister obviously is the head of the management of the economy as long as the finance ministry is concerned. But he reports to the vice president. So the vice president has failed in his supervision. He has failed in the work that he has been mandated to do. So he has no business to sit in that office and call himself chairman of the economic management team. I call on you directly, Mr. Vice President, if you are listening to us, resign as the chairman of the economic management team now to save the Ghanaian city and the economy of Ghana. We need that. And then finally on this matter, Mr. President, you have a role to play. Ghanaians elected you as president. When it goes bad on your head. Please and please again, you have to take the blame for what is going on. You cannot run away from this matter.
So welcome back. This is still the AM show. Let's deal with the issues that we have on the table. We're talking about Ghana's economy. Now, this is an economy that has brought a lot of hardships on Ghanaians. You know, the inflation is skyrocketing, the cedi is plummeting, and people are calling for the head of a lot of people, including the finance minister, the minister of state in charge of finance, Dubois. The minority is calling for the sack of the governor of the Bank of Ghana, and also the head of the economic management team, the vice president, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Well, we've been joined on because we are told that yesterday at the Flagstaff House, there were a lot of meetings, including that with the party leadership. That's the New Patriotic Party leadership met with the president to discuss matters arising from this particular development. We've been joined on the line by Richard Ahiagba, who is Director of Communications of the party, to understand, you know, the ins and outs of what happened in that meeting. Thank you so much, Richard Ahiagba, for joining us. Now, in that particular meeting with the president, what was the major theme on the agenda, and what proposals did you as a party put before the president?
Thank you very much. Pardon my voice this morning. The issue, as you may have recapped for your viewers, commenced yesterday in the morning with a press conference of some MPs, and following that, as they ought to be, the president, in the process of engaging the party, he met the MPs yesterday, and it was a very cordial meeting. The understanding that was reached is that, yes, people may have a legitimate reason for making their calls, that the character and nature.
Mr. Heba, kindly pardon me, can you speak up a bit so we can really follow what you're saying?
Okay, sir. So is it any better now?
Yeah, it's better, yes.
Oh, okay. So the president met the MPs late in the evening last night, and the conversation was cordial. The understanding that was reached, generally speaking, is that they're in the middle of a challenge processing our books for the IMF and putting together a budget, which is due here in probably about 3 or so weeks. And so negotiations will be ongoing whilst this process is dealt with, so that the country's finances are not brought to some kind of destabilization in a sense that the processes will not flow freely. And so I think that that understanding that was reached yesterday is part of the negotiation that perhaps will be ongoing until the issue is resolved.
So the understanding is that the finance minister will remain at post because we are still in negotiation with the IMF and we're drawing up a budget, isn't it?
That's a conversation with the MPs yesterday to have us all understand how urgent the moment is, and the work that needs to be done cannot be stalled or cannot hang in the balance whilst the demands are considered. So the minister is still at post and working. The conversations will be ongoing until a resolution is reached. But the understanding from yesterday is that the minister is still working and focusing on the real challenges that we're faced with and the task at hand. And you would know that in the meantime, yesterday and even perhaps today, the government is still engaging a lot of stakeholders. They may be engaging TUC today, market women, and as well as other stakeholder groups. So that work cannot stop. And I think that's the position that was canvassed yesterday. And the meeting ended on a good note, and I think that the MPs will process that, and then I guess as part of the ongoing conversation, there will be feedback in the process. But where we are today is what I have indicated to you,
okay.
That the minister is still working to deal with the express problems at hand.
Okay. I'll come to find out from what the party does make of what's happening. But you know that your MP, Honorable Eugene Boakye-Ntwi, who's MP for Subing, said that if the president doesn't sack the finance minister, the 80 majority MPs will not participate in the business of parliament. It will be tough for government. And they say that no matter what the president says about Ken, they disagree, and that Ken must go, and that if he stays, they would make sure that things are hard for the government. Doesn't that scare you as a party?
Well, I mean, you at this point don't ignore any concern. All the concerns that have been expressed were in the room. And even if they were not in the room, they were represented in the room. And like I indicated to you, the meeting ended cordially, and the MPs will be processing that. I think it was a reasonable position to say that let's deal with the issue before us, because really it affects all of us the same. We cannot get into a place where there is some kind of chaos as far as how the process continues. I'm even wondering the extent of impact this position promoted, or the legitimate concerns of the MPs advertised in their press conference, how that will affect the processes going forward. So I think the conversation yesterday, if you look at it on balance, is one that is seeking to solve a problem and not to ignore any concerns that were expressed by the MPs. And I think it's a fair position, whilst we all seek to maintain and secure the best interests of the country, of the government, and of the party.
No, but you have indeed ignored the concerns of the MPs, because they were categorical in saying that if the minister continues to stay on, it will make things difficult for the economy, and their constituents have expressed no confidence in him and that he must go. You as a party still think that, well, the president has spoken to them, so it's okay. You're denying them their concerns, because when they were outside of the presidency, they put out their genuine concerns. You met them at the presidency and tried to call them into agreeing that, well, the finance minister should stay on. Aren't you suppressing their interest? Like you say, the president is addressing their interest. But in this case, their interest has not been addressed.
You sound like an advocate for the MP.
Well, I watch them, I listen to them, and
you
that's
sound
why
like an advocate. But the point I mean is that these are very seasoned, experienced politicians and statesmen, among them many of them professionals, lawyers. So they know what they want. They understand what is at stake. So they're being in the room and having a conversation. Now, I haven't told you that they have agreed or disagreed to anything, but the reasonable position canvas is all I'm communicating to you to say that this is the position canvas, and I think that is a reasonable position whilst we focused essentially on trying to preserve all interest, because we have one interest, and that interest as a party, as a government, as members of parliament who are members of the NPP, have one collective interest, which is to advance the lot of Ghanaians. And so that when a position is canvassed, that gives an indication that, yes, we are focused on what business we wanted to do for Ghanaians. That's a position, I think, that ultimately the MPs, their grievances notwithstanding, will see that clearly and would want to pursue that. And that pursuit, I think that is a sacrosanct call that as a party, I think that we will not want to ignore. We'll canvass that position strongly. So my indication to you is not to say that a decision is made one way or another, or somebody's interest is suppressed or ignored. The point I was making is that the position forwarded is one that takes into account, or is one that every one of the parties involved in the conversation can see beyond and say that, okay, well, what I am seeking to do is to serve Ghanaians, and this position is allowing a situation to move forward to be able to achieve that objective. So in the interim, I can see my interest, which is to serve Ghanaians, tied to that position. And I think that's where I am hopeful that the issue will be resolved. But that is not to say that the MPs or the government has reached any conclusive decisions with them. But if you ask me, I think that would be a good place to start a conversation from, and then look how we can restore economic stability and get back to the path of growth, which I have every confidence the NPP government is capable of doing because of our track record.
What's the position of the NPP in all of this, issues that are making rounds?
Well, the party is focused. If you read the statement yesterday, it is to ensure that there's stability. It is to ensure that the parties are talking and the issue is addressed. You know, the NPP has a record of engendering internal democracy. And so that track record is what is going to guide us. And we believe in the freedom of speech and the expression of our members, and they are allowed to do so within the acceptable bands. And so that's okay. The party is focused in ensuring that there isn't anything beyond what democracy would permit. So the party is right in the center, trying to bring all the parties together in a conversation to resolve democratic concern of the MPs and then the governance interest of the government. So I think that the party is mediating strongly and fairly and trying to bring this issue to an amicable solution. You know, many years ago, maybe I was a bit younger then, a similar issue happened in a certain political party. It led to their splitting. The issue of Reform Party and the NDC back in the 2000, going into the 2000 election. We are able to resolve this issue, and that issue will be addressed ultimately because we have a responsibility. We cannot renege on Ghanaians to ensure that the economy is put back on a strong path.
When you were in that meeting yesterday, what did the president tell you?
Unfortunately, I was at the Jubilee House, but I was not in the meeting because I was preoccupied with something else. But what I have summarized to you is essentially the position that was expressed in the room.
Okay, that we should allow the finance minister to stay on as we negotiate the IMF and then prepare the budget, right?
That will be a fair summation of the discussion, yes.
Okay. All right, then. We hope to monitor how things are, because yesterday where the MPs were very, very categorical in this. So we want to see how this goes, that whether they would progress or they would listen to what the agreement that was reached at that particular meeting. We're grateful to you, Richard Anhieba, that you could join us on the show this morning. So Richard Anhieba is Director of Communications of the MPP. So from what he says, you can't surmise that the finance minister will still hold on to his portfolio as the Minister of Finance because we are negotiating with the IMF and also preparing the budget for 2023. Well, Kinali Kimani is Director for Special Program at Odikro. And so, Kina, thanks for joining us. You've listened to Richard Anhieba there. We were not in that meeting, but it looks as though the president has been able to convince the MPs and the party that, look, the finance minister would have to continue as we try to meander our way through the double problems of meeting with the IMF and trying to get a program and also preparing the 2023 budget. What do you make of this development?
Utter hogwash. No. Look, we do not want a budget that bears the imprint of Kenoforiata. Ghanaians have had enough. Let me just point out one thing. The caterers of the school feeding program, the majority of them across the country have not been paid for 3 terms. 3 terms. In the meantime, we hear they paid $800,000 to the GFA for, I hear, Brazil and Nicaragua. These are the decisions they are making under economic duress. We don't want, he has to go. There are other people who can continue the negotiations. Besides, we can't even trust somebody who took us out of the previous IMF too quickly. We can't trust somebody who has so publicly denigrated Ghana going to IMF. So he has to go. Are there not other people? He has to go, Chafe Dubain has to go, and all the systems and intelligence and aids they have put in place must go. Because part of part of what is happening in the market, because these are people who also understand market confidence, is the fact that he's still on post. For as long as he's on post, the market is not going to have confidence in Ghana. So he must go. The president is too comfortable putting his feelings above the needs and the well-being of Ghanaians. He's put his family member above the country. He's put his fear and the fact that he doesn't want to face Ghanaians, he's only going to come this week, above the best interest of Ghana. I mean, what's more? But you see, this is not even up to him. This is to us Ghanaians. We have seen enough of this guy. It's been 6 years. We have seen enough. And the thing is that I remember, as we all must, when Ken was telling us that he objected to the wholesale implementation of the free SHS, and that he would have preferred that middle-class people pay something. It is a view I share. In fact, I find it immoral for middle-class people to not pay
for their kids' education.
But he did not have the courage. He didn't have the courage to insist, and his cousin, the president, did not respect him enough to take his advice. They have a dysfunctional relationship where the economy of Ghana is concerned. And that relationship must be broken up for Ghana to thrive in the next 2 years. They have a dysfunctional relationship, those two, where we are concerned. We are the ones suffering their dysfunction. One of them has to go, and obviously, Kenoforiata should fall on his sword for his cousin. He's helped him enough. We are all grateful for his service to his cousin. He must go. It's dysfunctional.
Okay. I mean, you can surmise from what happened in Parliament that if 80 MPs from the MPP side are saying that he should go, and 137, I mean, from the minority, you can then say that over 200 constituencies in Ghana want the Minister of Finance to go. So, surprising to hear that he should still stay on. But don't you also agree with them that once we are negotiating with the IMF, he began it and he should be the one to conclude, and therefore we should let him conclude these ones before probably any decision is taken?
You cannot have somebody who so colossally has messed up our economy be the one to shepherd in the new change of regime. In which logical sense does this happen? No. Number one, he got us here. He and his cousin, they got us here. Number two, we should have gone to, if in the end we're going to go to the IMF, and I'm not an economist, and honestly, I am somebody who doesn't like IMF anyway, but if we were going to go to the IMF, we should have done so much sooner. We began this year, I'm sure, with projections of how badly Ghana was going to go. We've waited until now we are in October, and the pressure for importation is reaching a peak and is driving the city down. Now they want to tell us that he should be in place. How? He should go. And yeah, I mean, one can look at the 80 MPs. They are even late. MPP has been late in calling to order their leader and his finance minister. MPP has been late. The president has subjected Ghana to significant state capturing elements of our society. But you know, our voice and our minds remain our own. It is time for him to go. There is no logic to why he should still be there now. If the president wants to disregard us, well, he should do so to his own detriment, I guess. But we should not be disregarded. Why? Oya bosom. Oya bosom. Aye, there be. Well, we do not need another budget to Ken Oforiatta. We do not need him to be the one to negotiate with IMF for a mess. We can't trust him because he doesn't like the IMF. The IMF actually is going to put significant dent in MPP's ability to use a lot of our monies to do campaigning in 2024. So the deal, we should even be wary about the deal. Ken Oforiatta negotiate on behalf of Ghana. He's not the one to do it. Neither him nor can the vice president or the Bank of Ghana person or whoever should go near this thing. If the president wants to tell us that he is prepared to put us on a different course, he must immediately sack Ken Oforiatta. Then he must cut his government size. Then he must do some things in the foreign exchange market. That will indicate to us that when we get a new finance minister, it's not going to be somebody who will be following the blueprints that Ken Oforiatta had left behind. We have had enough. We've given him 6 years of our lives. And the repercussions of the 6 years under their economic management will be felt for many years to come.
Well, if he fails to, if a president fails to sack him, the minority has indicated clearly that they want to institute a vote of censure against him. Is that something you would now say we should push, that the 80 majority MP should also not relent in their effort and they should support the minority in this vote to ensure that Ken Oforiatta is gone? Listening to what you're telling us.
Absolutely, because that would mean that they are standing with the majority of Ghanaians. For too long, and I am a parliamentary watcher, for too long, Parliament tends not to stand with Ghanaians. We need Parliament to stand with Ghanaians now. We need them to be on our side because we are going to get this man out and we are going to make our voice very strongly heard. The president is not doing right by us. They can either be with us or they can be against us, but there's no need to be against us because after all, the people give you cover. This move they have, both the NDC and MPP have done in the fair yesterday, they are to be commended, but obviously with the tone and the stress and the fear in Ghana, no, it's not that much of a courageous move. They are moving with the people. We are leading them in this, so they should stay the course. They shouldn't be managed. There will be a tendency, just like how the MPP comms director, I've forgotten his name,
Richard Anyagba.
I said no. They went for a meeting at Flagstaff House, and the president and his people are managing MPP. MPP people now should resist management. Ghanaians, we should resist being managed by these people. They've used, or including using the Bible to manage us. We will not be managed anymore. We cannot be managed into our own demise, which is what is happening.
Okay, all right. So I mean, the Forex Bureau operators and the Bank of Ghana met yesterday on how to control the city. The Bank of Ghana governor said, as we speak, the exchange rate is around 12.5, 12 cedis, 50 pesos, but they are hearing of 15 cedis and they don't know where it's coming from. The Forex Bureau operator said, well, the Bank of Ghana has allowed the black market to operate, and that's why things like that are happening. And they are saying that they are now going to institute measures to regularize the sector to ensure that this is controlled. Does that probably bring you some sort of respite as you call on government to ensure that it checks how the city is falling?
Well, first of all, it's always, taking aim at like people who sell the traders in the currency and the traders in the markets. It's low-hanging fruits. That is not going to solve your problem. If Bank of Ghana is actually very serious about this problem, currently they force the mining companies to sell their foreign exchange directly to the Bank of Ghana and not to the interbank market, which is what they used to do. So if the Bank of Ghana itself is concerned about what is happening, they should stop that sale, that forced sale of foreign currency from the mining companies directly to them immediately. That would do some help. Number two, we need to address the issue of fuel. The president, again, for 6 years has seen to it that it does not function, which means we are importing all our fuel. That is unsustainable. These are the measures that help with, and even me, I'm not an economist, but I think I understand a bit. I have some brains with me. So there is a lot more that the Bank of Ghana, look, if these people wanted to solve this issue, they would have solved. Don't come, this business of, they don't know where the 50 rate is coming from. Do they not have analysts? They shouldn't come and insult our intelligence today too. They should start looking at their policies. This business of, it's a rule in Ghana, we should enforce this rule of no quotations in dollars. But the Bank of Ghana actually quotes things in dollars themselves, and then they watch governments quote things in dollars. Nigeria banned that a long time ago. These are some of the wages. Instead of telling us that you don't know where the 50 cedis came from, and black markets and blah, blah, blah. Black markets were not doing this when the cedi was at $3 cedis, or the dollar was at 3 cedis. So they shouldn't come and again do some shallow policy talk. Okay. There are real policies they have in place that they need to change. Policies they need to now put in place. They should look to their own work.
Okay. Now, with your understanding of how Parliament works, what do you envisage to be the action that Parliament should take in this moment we are? Because it looks like the government would want to hold on to the finance minister and all those that people have spoken that they should go. What should Parliament do?
Well, there is things that, with Parliament, with Ghanaian Parliament, there's always something they should do, and then they always do something far less than that. What Parliament should do is they should stick to their guns and in fact, beyond the issue of right now, the kind of rata being at post issue is such a red herring for us that we can't see anything else. But there are things that have to be done. Ken has to go. In fact, the Ken going is a minor issue. They should stick to the guns and they should impeach him if the president doesn't let him go. But there are other issues of accountability that they must. Parliament has a role in our constitution and in our governance that nobody has. They should start to really, really put the government to account and stop making deals that drain Ghana of our earnings, our gas earnings. I hear there's a deal that they are allowing. They say it's okay for some revenue from gas to leave these shores. No, we don't want that. We want we want Parliament to help Ghanaians seal all the leakages outside of this country. So there's actual work to be done, which they never seem to do because they collude with the executive. There is a role here to be played. And the role that the Parliament must play now is even more critical. Because now we have an executive that is not interested in what is happening in Ghana. in fact, has caused this issue, our current crisis. So Parliament, so beyond the Ken thing is not even the biggest problem we have. The biggest problem is sealing the leakages from our economy, negotiating and abiding by mining and energy and extraction policies that keeps a lot of our own income here in Ghana, operation of toll, cutting down this. Would you believe, and I'm sure we are all observing it, we are in a current economic crisis, the worst we have seen in the Fourth Republic and possibly the worst Ghana has ever known. And look at the size of this Akufo-Addo government, the ministers, the deputy ministers, the special assistants, the aides. He must cut his government in half, if not more. We don't need, first of all, we don't even have the money to keep these people at post. We don't even have the money for them to do the work. And let me not even talk about corruption. And they must not, the Parliament must make sure that Ejapa or Ake or any of those things, those deals that are designed to capture Ghana and to continue to steal our resources, make it past the gates. There is real work for Parliament to be doing beyond this kind of data issue. They shouldn't, in fact, since we are refusing to be managed, they shouldn't come and think that the Ken thing is the only thing, and therefore if we got Ken out, they've done their job. There's a lot to be done right now in rolling back this capturing that Akufo-Addo has put us under.
Parliament, you expect so much of them, but they will do little. So you don't
what
have.
Can I do? I'm not going to say I'm hopeful. What I'm going to tell Ghanaians today is that now it's not the time to say Ghana politics and now we do not want to be engaged. If nothing at all, we can now really see. If you didn't know it before, now you can see how the policies of one government and the inaction of Parliament can get a country into. And let me tell people that it can get much worse than this, as we know. September, October has been terrible. It can really even, the city can really even go lower, right? We know that. So we want Ghanaians to be watchful. And if your MPs don't do things, go and do not sit in your home set crying. Go and let them see your tears. Put pressure on them. Boo them every time you see them. Doesn't matter if they are MPP or NDC. We must let people see. If they don't do what we want to do, because right now, the power is ours to also direct. We should use that power. We are the people. We, Ghanaians, we are the people. We are this nation. Some 275 people and some almost 2,000 people at the presidency are not the people. We are the people.
All right. Hold the line for me. Let me move to Godwin Abubire, who is General Secretary of the GPRTU. They were also in a meeting with the President yesterday at the Jubilee House to discuss the economy. Godwin, thanks for joining. What transpired at this meeting that you were yesterday?
Yeah, my name is Godfred.
Oh, Godfred, okay.
Godfred Abubire, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the correction.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your question.
Yeah, so I was asking, what you were in the meeting, we weren't. So what transpired in that meeting you were yesterday?
Okay. Let me say good morning to you and then to your cherished listeners, and then to say that, yes, we had a meeting with the Transport Minister on Monday, and we could not arrive at a decision because of the disparity between the rates she was given and then the rates we were actually willing to accept.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a call that we needed to hold the next meeting with the Transport with the President. And yes, we got there. He was there. Some of the ministers were there. Finance Minister was there. The question we asked was, what informed us to be asking for at least 25%? And then we settled down on all the factors vis-a-vis the fuel, the fees from the government of the 50%, the dollar rate, and then some other personal emoluments and lubricants. We settled all, and what we should have been asking adequately should be around 49%. And looking at the economic situation that we have to come down to 25, and then it is still down to 20, and yet the minister was offering only  16.5%. So after listening to the President, he said that we Yes, all whatever we are saying are facts. There's nothing there that he says that he's not aware. He's aware. But looking at the situation, the moment fare goes up, it triggers out almost a lot of things. And that, as a father, he was asking us to reconsider our decision and see whether we could take the 15% offered by the 50% offered by the minister. And we said no, that was actually a problem. Besides that, we're actually anticipating another full increment in the next pricing window, which is coming at the end of this very month. And that's where we think that if we accept a low figure as to 60%, then what happens? After we increase and then the fuel price goes up, then the decision then settles as well. With the 20%, they should let it be the figure for us to increase. But we have come before him as a father. Can't we offer something small before him as a sign of respect? So we all agree that yes, we'll take off 1% and then we'll accept 19% before the president. And that's how the meeting concluded.
So you concluded that you would increase your transport fares by 19%.
Exactly so. We said the 20% was just still a consideration. Once we were for him, that was before our minister. Now we are for the president. What to be the sign that we actually respect the president? So we agreed and then said that we will waive off that 1% and then agree on to increase by 90%.
When is this 19% taking effect?
Yeah, so today we will issue out the communique and then it will take effect on Saturday coming.
Saturday
coming, yes. But we are aware that some other members, some other unions have already increased theirs. But officially, we are saying that fares are reviewed, are affected coming Saturday and not today.
Okay. So yes. You were in this meeting with other transport operators, right?
Of course.
And all of you agreed to this 19% increment?
Exactly so.
Okay. All right. So we can now say that the transport fares will be going up by 19% effective Saturday coming. Okay. Interesting. But aside that, were there any other proposal GPRT and transport operators took to the presidency as to how this economy, the challenges we are in now, can be dealt with?
No, what we see, the particular reason why we even had to go to be the president was that our argument as to what happens with the next pricing window when the fuel goes up. The president should do something to be able to cushion us from there. Whichever way the president can do, such that when the fuel price comes out, then we're anticipating that by the next pricing window, it might shoot up to even 20.20. Now we are buying almost 16.0%. So the president assured us that yes, when the price comes out the next week and it's up, government will do something about it. They are working on a lot of things, including this IMS issue. That might even be used to arrest all this kind of unstable rise of this fuel price. So we believe the president and we think that they will actually do something for us.
Okay. He didn't tell you exactly what he will do when the increment comes?
Yes, definitely.
Interesting. Okay, so that's Godfred Abubere. He is General Secretary of GPRTU there. So for GPRTU, your interest in this meeting was just about the increment in fares and the increment in fuel prices, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In this meeting, were any other organizations part of that is not related to transport? What did they also put up?
No. See, even though they were not in our meeting. Our meeting was basically transport operators meeting the president.
Okay.
And there was no any outsider apart from us.
Okay, all right. Godfred, I'm grateful that you joined us. Godfred Abubere is General Secretary of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. He's just telling us that they were in a meeting with the president at the Jubilee House yesterday, and he's told us that the agreement between they and the government is that GPR2 and all transport operators will now increase their fares by 19% effective Saturday, 2nd November. So that's it. So it's 29th October there. So Saturday, 29th October. So bear in mind that one. Kina Likimani is still with me. Kina, you heard the GPR2 in the agreement is that now transport fares will be going up by 19%. Your thought?
What can one say? One is just speechless. I hear everything that the leader of the union had said, and as he keeps pointing out, it's what we call an ongoing situation. As they are increasing the fares, he's looking ahead to what is likely going to be coming. So even this 19%, what he's trying to say is that there's more increase coming. And here we are. The entire financial brains of this government is waiting on IMF. That is what we are doing. If they are doing something, they need to announce it now, because we also know that there has to be some debt restructuring in the domestic markets. I mean, there's so many things that we should be. You see, the way you manage, you can't when the markets start to turn against you, you can't actually go silent, because the silencing just makes the whole thing worse. So it's nice to hear from the leader of the union that this is what happened yesterday, and that they you can see that they have put their issues. They even to be asked why they had increased the rate so much when they know what is happening. So we are obviously in an ongoing situation. What can we say? If we say it's nice that it's only 19%, which is not an only, we know that a week, 2 weeks from now, it's going to be going up again. Because this is the situation we are in. But we thank the union leader for, his care and his what obviously they are also going through. But all this means that the Ghanaian consumer, particularly young people, what are they supposed to do? So what can we say?
Interesting.
It's difficult. We are. I keep saying, and indulge me for a minute, I keep saying that if I ever wrote my own memoirs, I would title it I Lost a Country, because I was very young in the 70s. And I could, you grow up with a certain type of Ghana. And I knew that as an adult, I lost that Ghana.
Okay.
Right now in 2022, there are young people 40 and above and below are losing a Ghana they have known.
Okay.
We've always had mismanagement, corruption and all those. And people are scared and stressed. And it's like we need not have been here. This is solely political governance, political misrule, political mismanagement, causing people to we are now at that crisis for another generation. And it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
What sort of Ghana did you know?
Well, there was it's a very interesting thing. First of all, it wasn't a Ghana whose will and courage and imagination of what could happen was so taken over by religion and prayer. We've always been a religious people, but we were more of a people who could do things. Now, everybody just wants to pray this crisis away. You can't pray this crisis away, because Jesus Christ, he used the king to use religious, ideas. He didn't just sit there and pray to his father, who would obviously have listened to him. He used the king. This whole idea that we should protest more, we should demonstrate more. It was also a Ghana where, as a woman, I could see that there were definitely more spaces for Ghana for women to exist. We've become very hyper patriarchal. We've become hyper corrupt. And that is solely from what our leaders want to do. And the concept of patriotism is completely lost on our leaders, whom we take a lot of guidance from. Do you understand? We've become less self-reliant. So as a people, we become less self-reliant. Our economy is less Ghanaian reliant, which is what the importations. And for any government to come into power, say what you will. Ghanaians can say what they will about Nigeria. Nigerian government banned certain imports to protect their markets. We become over-reliant on importation, and even more so, our economy is not our own. And people are just coming into power just to drain the resources.
Okay.
And we've become cowards. Not our young people. The people who should know better to speak up. And the first thing we should do is forgive ourselves for even MPP people should forgive themselves for Nanado.
Okay.
But once you've forgiven yourself for Nanado because somebody said they would do something and they've done completely the opposite, you should hold them to account. People can't be blamed for how they vote. Of course not.
Kira, I'm grateful.
So we should forgive ourselves for Nanado and hold him to account. Now is the time to speak up. We need to speak up. Ghana, my most favorite thing about Ghana is our coat of arms. It says freedom and justice people. We are freedom fighters here in Ghana. We are justice-seeking people. And in everything we do, we must hold that.
Okay.
We mustn't let any leader come and do otherwise. This is a great nation of great people.
Kenali Kimani, I'm grateful that you could join us this morning. She is Director Special Program at Odikro. We'll wrap it all up here. We'll take a break. When we come, we still have some fantastic interactions with you. Remember that this afternoon at 1, the finals of the National Science and Maths Quiz will be coming up, and we'll bring that live to you here. We'll have an interaction on that for you. We're live on all the 3 schools to really find out how they're preparing for the encounter today. Stay with us, but remember you can join us on social media with your thoughts. We'll be back.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for staying here on the AM show. I am Bernice Abubedulansa. It's now time to let you in on what the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has started doing. It's been issuing tax clearance certificates electronically. Now, the GRA says this shows its commitment to digitize its processes and bring taxation to the doorstep of customers. This morning, I've been joined by 2 gentlemen for a discussion on this. Dominic Nab is Assistant Commissioner at the Office of the Commissioner General. Good morning to you, Mr. Nab. And Kweku Jiwa is Chief Revenue Officer, Large Tax Office. You're welcome, gentlemen, and it's great to have you here.
Great to have you.
We've been hearing a lot about the GRA in recent times, talking about closure of some shops that were not complying with some of your latest directives. But first off, just explain to us this recent move by the GRA and what it's all about, Mr. Nab.
Thank you very much. The Ghana Revenue Authority has been charged with the mandate to administer taxes. And to be able to do that, we have to ensure that taxpayers actually comply with our tax laws. So there are two ways of looking at it. Mm-hmm. One has to do with the fact that we have started what we call the e-VAT.
Okay.
That is to actually move from manual processing of our VAT invoices to digital platform. Mm-hmm. Again, that is not a new tax. Let me just emphasize that. Then we also started with what we call invigilation. The invigilation is actually not a new thing. It is something that we have been doing over the years, just to ensure that taxpayers actually comply with our tax laws, essentially.
And that is what a lot of the business owners are unhappy about. But just explain to us how the invigilation happens.
Oh, no, what we do is that we just put our staff on the premises. As customers go in to buy, they also record. Is that okay? The transactions. Then at the end of the day, they try to reconcile. Just so that at least the numbers that the taxpayers are going to file at the end of the month would agree with what we have. Mm. So it is actually much ado about nothing, if you ask me. Mm. So now that they are okay with it, you can see that there's sanity in the system.
I'm just interested. This electronic mergers and digitization models that we are introducing, would it then mean that when it goes into full force, you won't need human beings to personally invigilate, Mr. Jiwa?
Yeah, so the invigilation is one aspect, as you mentioned, and the EVAT is also another aspect. So yes, eventually, if every person is able to get on the EVAT system, then maybe the number or the frequency with which we send our people to go and invigilate will be minimized.
Okay.
But that notwithstanding, there is still compliance activity. So even as they are on the EVAT, we'll still need to do some compliance activity. So from time to time, our officers will still visit these shops to find out whether indeed their systems are still plugged into ours as we envisaged.
Interesting. So let's delve deeper into this electronic tax clearance certificate. You've explained to us why you have introduced it. So how do you assess it?
No, first of all, let's try to understand what it is. The tax clearance certificate is actually a certificate issued by the Commissioner General that satisfies that a taxpayer has fulfilled an obligation under a tax law.
Yeah.
I.e., the taxpayer has filed their tax returns, they have also made tax payment, and also if they have employees, they have actually deducted the appropriate PAYE and paid to GRA. Or they have made satisfactory arrangement, is that okay, in terms of their tax liabilities. Now, that is what it is, and it is also supposed to actually help them be able to transact certain businesses.
Okay.
For example, if you want to tender for government contracts, that becomes difficult unless you have the tax clearance certificate. Or you want to clear goods commercially at the ports, you need a tax clearance certificate. Or you want to even contest for national elections, you will need a tax clearance certificate. And an alien cannot also leave the country unless they produce their tax clearance certificate. This certificate is what we are trying to actually transform from the manual operations
to the electronic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that is what it is. It is just to ensure that we are able to provide convenience. As in your introduction, you mentioned bringing taxation to the doorstep of the taxpayer. That is what we want to do. Paying taxes is very difficult. We have to now ensure that we are able to take off all inhibitions so that taxpayers can clearly and then be able to pay their taxes freely.
So I know that to get the manual tax clearance certificates, there are certain processes. So how can people access this e-tax clearance certificate you're talking about, Mr. Jiwa?
Yeah, all right. So currently, we have taxpayers who have signed up to our portal. Okay. So such taxpayers who are already on our portal can easily go to their portal where there is a feature on the portal where you can apply for the tax clearance certificate. It's automatic, and once you fulfill all the requirements that's supposed to, automatically and instantly you get your tax clearance certificate. Yes, we also recognize the fact that there are some people who, as they say, maybe born before computer and stuff like, yes, if they do come to the office with their manual application, yes, we have a client service unit who assist these people in the first place to sign them up on the portal, because our objective is that eventually we are not going to, I mean, we've even stopped issuing the manual tax clearance certificate. So we sign you up, we'll help you to process that, even the manual application that you brought, and now the tax clearance will be issued electronically on your device that is brought to the office.
So this portal you're talking about, can I sit at my home and access it and sign up for it? How exactly does it work?
All right, so very simple. So if you are a first timer, you will need to, if on your phone you need to download, we go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and Ghana Taxpayers app. You download it onto your system. Then you input your Ghana card for individuals, the Ghana card number. Once you input that, you sign it up. The first time you will be required to give your telephone number that's your preferred contact. Then an OTP is sent to you, that's a one-time password is sent to you to sign you up onto the system. In that case, then now you have that direct interaction with GRA for which you can conduct all your tax affairs.
Interesting. So what other services can we get from these apps that you're talking about?
Yeah, we've started a lot of transformations in GRA to automate a lot of our systems. So if your taxpayer wants a refund, that can be done, electronically.
Okay.
Then you also want to reschedule your tax payment. You have a tax liability, you want to reschedule, you want Commissioner General to reschedule it so that you pay within a certain period. That can also be done electronically. Then you want to also amend your records. That can also be done electronically. In fact, we want to ensure that all processes that have to do with trying to efficiently conduct our business are actually done electronically.
And I want to believe that this is all in line with the digitization drive?
Certainly, yes. Certainly, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're watching us and obviously you should be a taxpayer, but if you run businesses as an individual, you just want to sign up onto that app that we are just learning about. And it is the Ghana Taxpayers app.
That is on your phone, but on your other devices, you go to www.taxpayerportal.com. So other devices, you can do that on www.taxpayerportal.com.
All right. So you need to keep these things in mind so that you can always easily access the GRA services when you need them electronically. And I mean, apart from people cutting down costs, moving to your offices to get the TCC physically, what are the other benefits of the ETCC?
Yeah, so you can access it at any point, in time, anywhere you want to actually, have it. You can access it easily. Then number two, it also actually takes away cloning.
Okay.
Is that okay? Of our TCC, where people try to duplicate them. Are you getting it? So, for example, if you are requesting for the ETCC, whoever you want it to go to would also have access to it, can check from our system to be sure that it is actually genuine.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
And
so
also,
easy verification.
The easy verification. Then efficiency, are you getting it? Is what we are also trying to actually drive at. To let people know that, in fact, when it comes to tax payment, it's not easy as I said. So we have to facilitate or create the enabling environment for taxpayers to be able to actually pay their taxes without any problem.
And so, if I get you clearly, I get onto the portal or I use the application, I apply for my tax clearance certificate. Once I get it, I can share it with somebody instantly via that electronic platform. Is that it?
Yes, yes. For example, if you also, maybe you are taking it for a contract somewhere, let's say Ghana Highways. Once we have the taxpayer identification number of Ghana Highways, quickly it is sent to them. So even before you even get there, the information is already there.
Okay. So in the application process, you need to mention if you're giving this to any other institution and it will be forwarded on your behalf.
Exactly.
Wow.
And even whoever also wants to check the genuineness can also verify from GRA as to whether it is genuine or not.
Okay, so I mean, I need to understand how this works because it's a new thing that we are introducing. So say Mr. Jiwa comes to me as an institution to say, this is my tax clearance certificate, and he shows me maybe on his phone an electronic version of it. How do I take that and cross-check? Can I also take, is there a code, is there a certain reference number that I can take and also input into an app on my phone to verify it? Is that how it works?
Yeah, okay. Indeed, we do have a QR code on our tax clearance certificate, such that you can just verify by just scanning, and once it's a genuine one, it will indicate to you that this particular tax clearance was issued to this particular person on this day, and that person is compliant as far as GRA is concerned. So those features are in there, those security features.
And it will work even if I print out and hand it over as a printed copy to another person?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you see, another important, benefits of this system is that you are able to also check your balances, your ledger balances. So once you click in, it gives you information about your tax payment. You can also initiate tax payment. You can tell how much you owe. If even you have also overpaid, you can tell from the system.
Okay. So what I'm just trying to do right now for purposes of helping our viewers is to see if I can quickly access the app. Okay. Or if any of you has it on your phone and it will be easier. Ghana Taxpayers.
Taxpayers portal.
Taxpayer. All right. Okay, I'm actually using the app, so it has come. Yes. Okay, so here you have it. GRA Ghana Taxpayers app. So let me click get. You actually have 5 stars. Interesting. So I'm going to try to get the app. Hopefully we can see how it works, because some of these things you have to, you know, let people see it in a very descriptive way. Does any of you have it on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Because I now have to install and it's going to take a long time. So if you have it on your phone, we can just open it and then we can see the interface and see how easy it is to use for a lot of people. Okay, so we need to use a Ghana card to sign it up. Okay, so this is Mr.
It also gives you your status.
Okay.
Your status.
Okay.
So as to whether you are tax compliant or not.
Or not. It will, all right.
Yeah.
So
the whole world will get to know.
that is if they have my TIN or my Ghana card details.
No, you want to show it. Are you not showing it?
So this is actually Mr. Jiwa's phone, GRA Taxpayers Portal. And so you have to log into your account and it has the TIN Ghana card number and then the password, and then you can log in. Once you do that, then you can go through the other processes. I would have been happy to see the interface and how it works. And maybe when we have you here another time, we can do that, because downloading it on my phone and all will take a long time.
But maybe I can walk you through the process of getting the tax clearance certificate.
Exactly. So please do that.
All right. So if as you have seen, if you log in with that, we have a tab in there that says your tax clearance certificate. So you click on that, and the interface opens up for you to now go to my tax clearance certificate. Once you click on that again, it tells you that, yes, we are going to process your tax clearance, but there are some requirements. So at that stage, if it happens that you do not even know the requirement that you need in order to get it, you can actually, there's a link there that you can click that it will give you the details. So from that point, if you know that you do not qualify, you do not need to even go forward. But however, if you want to still go on, you go to process my TCC, then immediately another page opens. That is where you have to now feed in the information. So very 2 or 3 details that you have to put in. That is the purpose for which you need the tax clearance certificate.
Okay.
For every tax clearance is for a specific purpose. We don't have one for every general services, no. Then you now have to put in the requesting organization.
Okay.
You put in the TIN or the email. Once you do that and you say process, the system then goes at the background, checks all the compliance issues associated with you, i.e. whether you have filed all your returns, your tax returns, whether you have paid all the tax returns, or even if you have not done any of this, do you have an arrangement with the Commissioner General? If such arrangement exists, then the system will say, okay, we are okay, we have looked at you, we are okay with you, so go ahead, it's approved. However, if you are not successful, again, the system also directs you to the exact issues for which the TCC was not issued. So if it has to do with a penalty, it will tell you you have this penalty to pay. If it's interest, it will tell you. If it's liability, it will tell you. If you have not filed a return, the system will also tell you. And you can go ahead once you are able to do all these things automatically. But if for any reason, you can also get in touch with the office.
Yes.
And the office will assist you.
Able to address the concerns. All right. So have you piloted this already? And are there any challenges or a certain pertinent challenge that you see with regards to people trying to access their TCCs electronically?
Yeah, we have. But the issues that are coming are not so serious. We are addressing them just to make it foolproof.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But as we stand now, people can go and use the app to get their eTCC.
Yes.
Does it produce the tax clearance certificate instantly?
Exactly.
It does.
It does.
It does. It does. So once the system checks your compliance and you are good to go, between 1 to 5 seconds, you should be able to get your tax clearance. Maybe if for any reason, the only delays might be maybe connectivity of internet.
Okay.
But that is the only challenge. Other than that, once everything is checked, within 5 seconds, you should be able to get your tax clearance certificate. And I will say it's not we've gone full.
Okay.
It's been up since 1st October.
Okay.
We went live 1st October, and taxpayers have been assessing this particular service. Those who do have challenges, they've made contact with the offices, and we are assisting them in going through the process.
All right. So is this the only way now that I can get my TCC? Is it compulsory for me to go the e-way?
No, we still have the manual, processes alongside until we are sure that everything is okay, then we take it off. So you can also use the route of the manual system. Okay. But we are encouraging every person to use the electronic platform.
Right. So,
if I may add up, yes. So the manual processes, that is the processes to get the TCC. But then the TCC itself, the manual one, we have done away with it. So we do not have a tax clearance certificate where you see an ink, someone writing. No, okay. We do not have that anymore.
But you can apply manually.
You can apply manually, and we'll take you through, we'll help you set up the portal, we'll even assist you to do that all through the portal, or even if you have to process from our office, the eventual tax clearance will still land on your portal. It is not printed from our office anymore.
Oh.
You can print it when it gets to your end. You can print it if that's what you want.
Okay, so you're going paperless. Sure. On tax clearance certificate. But what other measures are being put in place for persons who may find challenges while, you've just said that people can walk into your offices but I mean, is there a number to call? Say I'm out of the country, I'm trying to get a tax clearance certificate for my business, do some deals and other things. I'm not here in person, I cannot come to your office. Are there any other ways of helping me address concerns or issues that I may have accessing my TCC electronically?
Yeah, we have contact lines. I think I can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it 800, 900?
All right. You said you have the numbers there.
So we have 0800 900 110. That's a toll-free line that you can get. You can also, through email, you can do it at info@gra.gov.gh. Aside that, we do have WhatsApp numbers as well. So you can also, so that will become interactive, of course. So we have a WhatsApp number, 055 299 0000. That is one of them. The second one, it's 020 063 1664. So that's also the WhatsApp number. Aside that, we do have other service number that you can call to our call center, and we'll also assist you. So we have a number of lines as well. We have 020 926 7047, 020 926 7048, 020 926 7049.
So these are the numbers to call.
Yeah,
you have so many options to choose from. So you can reach out to the GRA if you have any concerns applying for your tax clearance certificate electronically. We are told that this went full force on the 1st of October. It is a way of making it easy, convenient, and efficient for you to apply for your tax clearance certificate and submit it to any institution that requires it. And so get onto your Google Play Store or your App Store and download Ghana Taxpayers app. I just keyed that in on my phone, and it's very easy to. Once you even type TAX, it continues and easily finds it for you. So, gentlemen, I'll give you the opportunity, final words about the application, why it's important, why people should get onto this new initiative. I know that we've been hearing from business owners who are not so happy with the GRA, but what would you have to tell them in regards? Yeah,
GRA is a partner in national development. GRA is actually out to raise revenue for socio-economic development. And this ETCC that we have introduced alongside other initiatives are to ensure that we provide efficiency to the taxpayer. We bring taxation to the doorstep of the taxpayer, and also to let the taxpayer know that we think about them. That is how we are rolling out a lot of initiatives that will actually help them be able to pay their taxes promptly.
Right. Mr. Jiwa?
All right. I will go on say that for employees, I think most of the time you want to know how much tax you have paid at the end of the year. Yeah, how are you able to know that? I know a multimedia would have deducted and paid to GRA, but they want to see whether it has even gone. All right. So I will encourage all employees to provide their tax identification number, that's for individuals is the Ghana card number, to their employers, so that when they are filing their returns, and they do include your identification number, your tax account with GRA gets credited automatically. automatically. So now, when you get onto your app, you'll be able to view all taxes that has been deducted and paid on your behalf. So that at the end of the day, if you are making an argument with somebody, you can also pick your phone and say, yes, this is how much tax I've paid for the whole year. So I can actually take an argument with you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for passing.
Thank you.
Dominic Naub is Assistant Commissioner at the Office of the Commissioner General, and the man who just wrapped up there, Kweku Diwa, is Chief Revenue Officer at the Large Tax Office. And this morning we've been talking about the electronic tax clearance certificate, why it is the way to go and why you should sign on to it. Well, coming up this afternoon, we'll have the finals of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. Defending champions Prempeh College take on last year's finalists Presec Legon, and former winners Adisadel College. We'll begin the build-up this morning. We are live in all three schools. We'll be speaking to one of our sponsors, Kings Group Limited, as well. Before I let you go, please, do you mind telling me which high school you went to?
I went to Bogatanga Technical Institute.
Okay, but we didn't see Bogatanga Technical Institute.
Of course.
But don't worry, my school didn't even come. So it's become very competitive nowadays, and so you really need to push yourself there. But Mr. Jua, which
as you can see, I'm already in blue, so you can guess.
Presec.
Your guess is
all right. So you are
that is all that there for you.
Oh, okay. We wish you all the best. So
all right.
Presec is hoping to extend their lead. They say they are 7-11 God.
Yes, that is true.
They're hoping to win it for the 7th time. Prempeh College has 5. They're hoping to equal what Presec has, which is 6. Let's see how it goes. Would it be revenge? Would it be a repeat of what we saw last year? Or would it be a total surprise? Where Adisadel College, my boys' school, because I went to Infantiman Girls, you have to take time. My Adisco friends who are relaxed, okay. I am an Infantiman girl, so we do this together. Will it be a surprise from Adisadel College, who won it once? Well, we've got our fingers crossed to see what happens, but do stay with us. We've got all that right after this. Oh, today is the day. Will it be Adisco, Prempeh, or Presec? I don't know who you're supporting. Well, by default, I support Adisadel College. I don't have a choice, do I? They are boys' schools. So all Infantiman girls. I know we didn't make it to the national stage this year, but let's support Adisadel College. If I don't do this, my Adisco brothers are going to cut my head off. But we have been joined by John Insor. He's head of marketing Accra Kings Group Limited. They are part of our sponsors. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
All right, so John went to Apam Senior High School, but he's supporting Presec. Tell us what Kings Group has to offer.
Yes, Kings Group. Okay, permit me to use Kings Furniture.
All right.
Because I'm here to speak to the furniture aspect of the group.
Okay.
So Kings Furniture, we are into the manufacturing and then retail of furniture and furnishing wares. So that's basically what we are into. We supply furniture to individuals, institutions, corporate organizations, churches, hotels, and many, many other spaces. Every space that needs furniture, we are there to deliver.
Great. So, furniture, NSMQ, why did you decide as a group to support the broadcast of NSMQ?
Yes, well, we although we are into business, we also believe that when we support education, it will go a long way to help the nation. When you have a majority of your population being in the elite group, it means that they have some kind of income which would meet your needs as a furniture retail company. So that is why we thought it wise to also support education in that aspect. So this is our little bit to support education.
And how long have you been supporting the NSMQ?
This is our second year.
Okay.
This is our second year.
And it was good the first time. So
yes, it was. we hope to do more years, in addition.
Right. So you've told us why it's important for you to support the NSMQ, but what are some of the special products that you want to let us know about?
Yes. So currently we have 2 product categories. We have the kitchen cabinets and then the wardrobes. Basically basing on those categories because we have currently a promotion running, which we are giving out 20% discount because of this program that we are sponsoring.
Okay.
We are actually giving out 20% discount on our kitchen cabinets and wardrobes. So our kitchen cabinets, when you come and then we take measurement, we give you an estimate, we apply the 20% discount on it. Same applies
so
to
these are
our
custom-made kitchen cabinets?
Yes, custom-made. Our wardrobes and kitchen cabinets are all custom-made because we don't want a situation whereby we send the furniture or the product to your place and it doesn't fit your space. So every time we want to see your space, even if it's a freestand wardrobe, we want to see your space and then advise you as to the design and style that will best fit. So
that's great. That's great. So there's a discount offer running, and it's all because of the NSMQ. You see, it's a good thing that we organize these competitions. And so you can walk into any of the offices of King's Furniture.
Yes.
Where will we locate King's Furniture?
Yes, so in Accra, we are at Kiseman. Okay. We are just in the Melcom at Kiseman. In Takrade, we are at Paipano. We are opposite Connect FM. And if you want to reach us on our phone lines, we have 050-150-5500. That is for Accra. But same way, if you end that number with 1, 2, 3, 4, you still get through to us. That's 050-150-5501, 02, 03, 04. And
the last 2 digits?
Yes, the last.
01, 02, 03, or 04?
04, yes.
Okay.
If you want to reach us at Takrade,
okay.
You call 0501-332-330. 051-332-330. Yes.
I can also see some really nice furniture on display on our television.
Yeah.
And these have some antique look to them, but you also have some of these modern looking furniture as well. Tell us what, I mean, aside from these, what other furniture you have on offer?
Yes, we have basically everything furniture ranging from domestic to office. So what you are seeing here is our domestic collection. Okay. Apart from this, we have the office collection as well, where we have these swivel chairs, office desks, everything you need for your office. And then apart from this also, we have sets for your dining. Okay. So you are not seeing the dining, but we have dining sets as well, made of glass, marbles, wood, and many other materials. So we have a lot. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so you can find King's Furniture at Accra in Kiseman and in Takrade, where exactly?
Paipano.
Paipano.
Yeah,
okay.
Tanokrum.
Okay, that's in Tanokrum.
Yeah.
All right. So you can also call King's Furniture on 050-150-5500,
5501, 5502, 5503, 5504.
All right, John. Any final words? We are building up to the finals of the NSMQ. You are sponsoring this event, and I'm sure that you have a message on this even as we wrap up the conversation.
Yes, we want our listeners and viewers to take opportunity of this promotion that we are running now, the 20% discount. We want them to take opportunity of it and then allow us to also demonstrate to them how a made in Ghana company, a company from Ghana, can also satisfy their furnishing needs. So we want them to get in touch with us. If they don't have time, they just reach us. We will let our staff be at their premises to access the space. And then.
Are you on social media?
Yes, we are on social media.
As
King's Group Ghana Limited.
King's Group Ghana Limited,
yes.
And we can see pictures for ourselves. So all the pictures we saw are furniture produced in Ghana?
Yes, produced in Ghana.
You don't import them?
We import the artifacts, the creative pieces, and then some small wares to decorate.
Complement it.
Yes, yes.
But this is a largely made in Ghana.
Made in Ghana.
Wow, that's exciting. Thank you so much, John. John Inso is Head of Marketing, Accra King's Group Limited, and he's been here this morning to share with us what they have to offer as sponsors of the NSMQ. They have a 20% discount for you. So just walk into their shops, let them know that you heard it here on JoyNews, that there's a 20% discount. How long is it running for, though?
till the end of next month.
All right.
November.
So till the end of November, there's a 20% discount running. I know you've been wanting that beautiful dining piece for your home. You may be wanting that beautiful kitchen cabinet. And King's Group says it's here to help you. It's here to prove to you that made in Ghana can satisfy your needs and taste. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, we will be going to the campuses of the schools participating in the finals of the NSMQ. Do stay. So much for staying here on the AM show. It's now time for us to go to the schools that are competing in the finals of the NSMQ. We start with Adisado College. They are poised. They are hoping to pull up a surprise. Will that happen? We've got our fingers crossed. 2 p.m. We start our build-up at 1 p.m. towards that final at 2.
But Bernice,
you
are super excited today.
I am. It's a Santa Moga thing. I mean, I'm just supporting Adisado.
Okay.
They are our boys' school.
Well,
I don't together.
I don't know which of the I don't know which of the schools I should support.
You're wearing stripes. Just there's no black and white.
Bedubonso student there.
What are your colors?
Green.
Oh no, that means you have to support Prempe. Okay, you support Prempe. Let me support Adisado.
Prempe too. I don't have any connection with Prempe really.
What about Presec?
I don't have any connection.
They support at this school.
Yeah, but you know, I have a friend, Anakwesi Kumsen. He's a pure disco boy. When you win, Charlie, so my prayer should be that maybe Charlie or say disco home, but
at disco, let's see what.
But if I don't so confused, you know, so like West Central region, Western region, that's kind of cool. Yeah. But let's see.
All right, let's cross over to Adisado College now, and let's see how the students there are getting ready. Well, we can see them right now. Okay, Richard Kojo is ready for us. Hello, Richard. We can see the students excited. They are dancing to some music over there. Worship Jama.
Worship Jama, yeah.
Please.
That's what it is.
Let us know what's happening, Richard.
Well, so I can tell you that it's a charged atmosphere here. The students here are super excited. They can't wait for the contest to begin. And so they are in the groove already, but they are very sure and confident that they will be bringing the trophy to Cape Coast and then the Central region. And let me get to the students who are super, super excited. Can I have, hello guys? Hello guys? Can I have the school's anthem? School's anthem. School's anthem. So now they are preparing themselves to get us the school's anthem. Let's.
This is not the day for technology to fail us. Our technicians are working keenly to get us that back. But that was an exciting scene from Adisado College. The boys were just charging with their anthem there. They were playing up for the school's great
You were singing along the anthem. So maybe once once that has gone bad, you can continue for us here.
Please, I beg you. If you ask me to sing a Batman Girls anthem, I can sing it from A to Z. But the only part of the Adisado anthem I know is play up, Santa Claus. All right. So we will be crossing over to the other schools.
Maxwell.
Maxwell Agbaba, who is joining us from Prempeh, I believe. Hello, Maxwell. What's happening in Prempeh College? Well, I understand that Maxwell is currently at the Prempeh College premises, and we know that it was exciting. You know, the interesting thing about Prempeh winning last year was it was the first time the competition was sent to the region. You know, it was always in Accra. But Maxwell is ready now. Let's hear him.
University of Science and Technology, where the finals of the National Science and Maths Quiz will be happening. What you can see behind me is the stage, and you can see that all is set. The sound team is also here doing a sound check. We've had some other members of the team also coming here to put finishing touches to what they started yesterday. So at exactly a lot of, where the finals of the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz, will be taking place. What you can see behind me is the stage where all the contestants, will be sitting for the contest to begin here at the Great Hall. We've had some technical team members also visiting this morning to put finishing touches to what they started yesterday. So right now we have the sound team here doing a sound check, ensuring that the sound is on point, and they've been doing that since morning here. So all is set here at the Great Hall of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Like I mentioned, the stage is ready, the seats are ready, and in the next 1 hour or 2 hours, the whole place should be filled to capacity. Also, with the benefit of hindsight, we know that the auditorium would be bursting at its seams. So what organizers have done, what organizers Primetime Limited they have done, is that I'm told that there will be a screen outside, a giant screen outside. So for those who are unable to get access to the Great Hall itself, they'll be able to watch it, from outside. So it's a lot of preparation, in here. But here in Kumasi, the conversation has been about which school is going to win the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. And the main conversation has been about whether it's going to be a repeat, whether it's going to be a revenge or a surprise. A repeat because in the years 1996 and 2021, Prempeh College beat Presec Legon to win the NSMQ trophy. So Prempeh College, they've won against Presec Legon in the finals 2 times. And the amount force are seeking to do it a third time. If they do it a third time, it's going to be big because it's going to be a back-to-back. That is in the year 2021 and also in the year 2022. And they are determined to do that. Also determined to do that because when they win today's contest, today's grand finale, they're going to be at par with Presec Legon. The 2 schools are going to be set at the top of the NSMQ trophy table with 6 trophies. And earlier, 2 days ago, when I spoke to one of the contestants, Lionel, he told me that they think strongly that the bragging, as he called it, the bragging by Presec Legon will stop once they win today's contest because it's going to be 6-6, Presec 6 trophies, Prempeh College 6 trophies. So really, that's the conversation here. Earlier today, let me take you outside. Let's go outside and see what it is like outside, the setup for outside as well. So this is outside the Great Hall, and these crash barriers definitely will be needed at some point, during the contest, because we anticipate that a lot of people, it's expected that a lot of people are going to come here. We saw what happened during the semi-finals. Outside was packed. The auditorium itself was also packed. So that is expected, and these crash barriers will really be needed by the security team that will be, on the ground here. So all is set. We are already all pumped up for today's grand finale, which will be starting. Remember that our build-up on the JoyNews channel and also on Joy Prime will be starting at exactly 1 p.m. The opening ceremony itself for the National Science and Maths Quiz is at 2 p.m. and then the contest, we're told, will be starting at exactly 3 p.m.
Right,
so stay with us. It's also going to be live on Joy FM. So stay with us for comprehensive coverage of today's grand finale. My colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku is at Prempeh College right now. Bright, take over and tell us what is happening there in Kumasi.
Where the boys, as you can see behind me, they are all around me. There's no space. Everyone is willing to speak right here through the microphone to all their nemesis that they are meeting today at the grand finale of the National Science and Math Quiz. So just before we engage with some of the students over here, let me give you a brief history about Prempeh College. Prempeh College, as it stands now, has 5 championships. They have 5 caps from the National Science and Math Quiz. They won it in 1994, 1996, and 2015, 2017, and then in 2021. So this year, it again and be at par with Presec Legon, who is undisputed champions of the National Science and Math Quiz. So let me first engage with some of the students. As you can see, there's a little bit of agitation over there. The students they all want to be on TV. So guys, let's do something. I want you to sing your anthem for me before we engage in any conversation. So let's go. Ready? Go. Hey. Arise and shine, students of Prempeh College, training up for truth and excellence, to build in us a masculine pride, a motto in music and the love of God. Arise and shine, students of Prempeh College, training up for truth and excellence, to build in us a masculine pride, a motto in music and the love of God. To serve our nation, clean and strong. To serve our nation, clean and strong. So by name, there is grace, character and integrity, character and integrity, character and integrity, character. All right. Thank you very much. So that's the anthem from Prempeh College. I have some guys here with me to engage in a short conversation. Hello. Good morning. You're live. We want to find out from you. Relax, guys, relax. So we want to find out from you. You have been in the finals. Which are you?
I'm in second year.
You're in second year. Then I hope last day you were here when you won it. So how was it?
Last day we had a very good day. And then we made it to the finals with Presec Legon and Kita SHS. But then with God, we still with him. So we're hoping for same this year.
You're hoping the same?
Yeah, we are.
Are you sure you are not scared? I know there've been a talk on town that the guys that you have so far are not like the likes of Eden who won it for you. So there's a bit of issue over.
Okay, first of all, Prempeh College is already a brand, and we always defend. That's one thing. So yeah, Prempeh College is a brand, and we always defend that. Serious. The type of performance the boys are putting up there. After all, it's God. And so at the end of it all, you will see.
So that's all you are willing for. So Presec should watch out for you.
We are not coming to beat Presec. We are not coming for this school. We are coming to win. We
are coming to win.
Yeah.
All right. So let me. I have some also gentlemen over here. Come closer. Please go back a little bit for us, okay? So let me find out from you. Your guy just told me that
You are not going in for Presec Legon and the others. You are here for the cup. What do you have to say?
Oh yes, they aren't our focus. That is the main deal. The main deal is no matter the performance they are going to put up, we are just going there for the trophy. And something about bonding, you know, our boys, they have a strong chemical bond. The bond that exists between them is a covalent bond, and so it doesn't break that easily. They have the highest ionization energy. Our boys are like, they are very strong in the answers they are giving and everything that they say on stage. So we believe totally in them, and we know that in as much as the Presec are coming in with the highest points, we are still going to overcome them, because you know something, Prempeh College, it stands for continuous, and Prempeh stands for permanent champions. So as Prempeh College is concerned, progress continues for permanent champions.
Okay, so that's all you are hoping. So what should we expect from you guys?
Oh, okay. You should expect nothing but the best, you know. The Lord is still sitting on these two here, and so therefore the Lord is in Prempeh College. Right now the Lord has descended here, and I know I foresee Prempeh bringing the trophy here. We are going to celebrate. For those schools, they are just coming as
Presec Legon and then at this other college are all spectators. I also have another gentleman here with me. Let me first find out from you how it has been for you. I know last year were you here when you won it?
Yes, I was here.
So how was the environment like?
It was amazing. It was just cheerful and joyful. Everyone was just happy that we had a trophy.
So describe to me, how was it?
Well, we just came together here. We had our Jama. We just went out the school. We took it to other schools. We just enjoyed it.
Really?
Yes.
Were you here when you were watching inside the auditorium?
Yes, I was.
And then how was that feeling? Especially when you realized Presec Legon was leading.
That feeling was terrible. We all started praying because we didn't want them to win. Because it was time the trophy stayed in Ashanti region. So we were all just anxious watching until the ball just turned and the game to our favor.
Okay, so what should we expect from you boys? How confident are you that your boys will win it? I know there's been a talk on town that you guys say, this is your season, this is a season. So what should you expect?
Well, nothing but the best from Prempeh College, because we believe in our boys and that they are prepared unbelievably, and we are going to witness.
We are going there to witness victory. We are going to victory. We are not going there to do it. We are just going there to witness victory. We are not going there for peace. This is our Steve trophy. We hope that we play the whole goal. Yes, we are taking this peace again, back to back, back to back.
So the boys from Prempeh College say they are winning this year. They are making it the 6th time and make it in par, be at par with Presec Legon, who are the undisputed champions of the National Science and Math Quiz. So as you can see behind me, the boys are just ready.
They are going to be fighting for their 7th title. Well, we're on the campus and most of their leadership are either on their way or gone to Kumasi to watch the contest live, to cheer their boys on whilst they try the impossible to beat Prempeh College and Addis Ababa. Let me ask the last of the authorities that are leaving campus, what are the expectations of their boys? Last year, they wanted to talk about 7, but Prempeh stopped them short of that victory. This year, again, they are going to be facing their rivals. It's going to be a repeat, or they are going to be overcoming Prempeh this time around. I have the assistant headmaster who introduced himself to us, and then what his expectations of his boys are. Sir, please, your name and your portfolio once again.
Ezekini, I'm in charge of academics.
Great. Last year, you wanted to talk about 7, but you left without a trophy. This year, what is it going to be?
Same. Still, we serve a living God. That's our team that we always go with. And this time around, we are doing it.
But last year, you served the same God.
It's the same God that we serve. And he was the one who saw it through, gave us the 2nd position. Out of the whole country, we had the 2nd position. And this time around, the victory is ours. We are making it double. Because today marks the birthday of my headmaster. Let me say, Mr. David Odija, happy birthday to you. And we're adding the trophy to it to make a double celebration for the school come this evening.
What was different about the performance of your boys for which you are convinced that they're going to be winning this time?
When you look at the rounds that we started, you could see the progression. We were able to, all throughout the rounds, we had the highest of the scores. And then the victory still remains ours. You could see that they are calm. We're not rushing. We take it cool, but sure.
But Adisado says they've come all the way from the regionals, and as underdogs in almost every contest, they've managed to pull through. And you saw their contest. They promised to beat you and Prempeh this time round. Do you have a message for them?
Don't forget, we know all their weights. We've been with them. We've been having contests with them at all times. So they are only adding to the numbers. Prosec and no other school.
Let me ask the other gentleman that is here with... okay, so what is your name and portfolio?
My name is Prince Agoti, Assistant Head Administration.
Okay. Mr. Prince, so, I mean, how convinced are you that this time round your boys will make you proud?
I'm very convinced because of the preparations that we have put into. As you rightly asked, last year was a good contest. Second position wasn't bad. This year, we've sealed all the loopholes. The 3 schools are good schools. In fact, Prempeh and Adisade are very good schools. But the best school will win, and that is Prosec Legon. The God we serve, I believe, is the same God we serve. And we are putting everything possible, putting our best shots to it. Our boys are out there, and everything that ought to be done in order for us to win the contest has been done. And we trust that God will put the icing on the cake, and the trophy, the 7, will come to Prosec this evening. So for all the other years, for all the fraternity of Prosec, all our stakeholders, parents, board members, everyone that is for Prosec, let's keep cheering, let's keep praying, let's keep looking up to the trophy to come this evening. And by the evening, God being so good, we will cheer with the trophy.
I'll come back and ask you, I mean, if your boys win, what are you going to do for them? I mean, this will be a feat that no other school has pulled through. Even your current record is something that no school is yet to equal. What is your name?
My name is Togbe Amechiko IV, the school accountant.
Great.
Before I answer any question, I want you to withdraw a word you use, impossible. We are not standing on the premise of impossible. Yes, we have every possibility to lift the cup today. So that word you use, that an impossible venture, I want you to withdraw that word. Yeah.
Okay. You want me to withdraw saying that it will be an impossible feat to pull at this moment?
I want you to withdraw.
You think it's possible?
It is very possible. So we are not going for an impossible mission. We are going for a very possible mission. We are positive thinking people.
I mean, as accountant, you should know the financial situation of the school. What are you going to be giving the students? Any special package?
Well, when the day is over, we know what to do. Yes.
Okay. I see. Let me ask the assistant headmasters who probably have to make that particular determination. What special thing are you going to be giving the students if they manage to make this possible?
7 is a perfect number, as I've just made mention of. Last year, for instance, we were able to give them all some treats. We took them out there, we gave them laptops, the old boys also came in, they did a lot for them. And there are things that we need to come out to say to the hearing of everybody. There are a lot of packages for them. So when we are ready with the trophy, we invite Joy FM to come in, come and celebrate with us. That's where you see it. And you also report live. And I believe
so that's Michael Ashale coming to us from Prosec Legon here in Accra. Hey, Prosec boys, come and see Jaman small. Come and give your contestants vibes small. Hey, I hear they are learning. Prosec.
And they say Jaman.
Please. Hey, why? Is it your Prosec?
Why?
Are you on that day?
Okay, I'm a boss can, so really.
We've got our fingers crossed. Everything will culminate at 2 p.m. when the contestants take their seats. Before Professor Elsie Efa Kaufman, who is our quiz mistress, we'll see the end justifies everything, doesn't it? The end is what will show whether enough has gone into every school's preparation towards the grand finale. So stay with us.
I will wish them all the best.
Oh yeah, we wish all the schools all the best. I mean, I told you why I'm supporting our discourse by default, but I mean we have to support somebody. We wish Prosec and Prempeh and Adisadel all the best, but our time is up here. Brace and I will be back on your screens, God willing, tomorrow morning. By then we would know who the winners are.
Exactly.
And we'll be having the winners as well. And so just stay with us. At 1 p.m. we start our build-up towards the grand finale, live on television, JoyNews, Joy Prime, on our Facebook social media pages, and live on Joy 99.7 FM. So do make a date with us. We've got you on radio, online, and on television, and on the ground as well. We will be in the 3 schools. So.
And then on social media.
Yeah.
So let's tweet at us with the hashtag
NSMQ.
NSMQ. Let it get buzzing.
All right. So thank you so much for being our guests this morning. Coming up shortly is News Desk. Do stay.